Radio at ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
Here we go. Groundhog Day, Brady in the Super Bowl, and the world keeps on spinning. What else is new? More winter, more Super Bowls for Brady. He said he wants to play until he's 45 at least. So I guess that's at least 2 more years of him. As Annie would call him, the Russian from Rocky. She says he's like the Russian.
Like Drago?
Like Drago, that's right. Welcome into the show here today on this Tuesday. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau Insurance, your hometown team and your hometown heroes are your local Farm Bureau insurance agents all across the state of Mississippi. Welcome in on this Tuesday. Glad y'all are here. If you're tuning in, however you're tuning in, I really do appreciate you. After I had a couple of days off for family time and dealing with stuff, here we are, back, ready to go on a Tuesday of Super Bowl week, and it is Groundhog Day. And I heard the whole conversation about animals on the previous show. More on that in a bit. First, though, I want to say hello to you, JB. What's up?
Man, it is a beautiful day outside, and it feels like we live in the North Pole.
I'm going to tell you what, that wind will go straight through a person, won't it?
It is, and I'm layered up pretty well, but just walking from my car into the studio, I got that thin blood anyway. So yeah, but it's chilly. But there's something about that sunshine, ain't it?
Yeah, it really is. I haven't sent you this yet, so I'm telling you for the first time. But we're gonna, if everything goes according to plan, we're gonna get to talk to Zach Arnett today on the show.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, state's defensive coordinator. And what
time are we doing that? Do you know?
We're looking at right at the top of the second hour, so a little after 1 o'clock. Again, if everything goes smoothly, so I'll send you the number.
Sounds good.
Selfishly, I kind of want to talk some X's and O's with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Selfishly ask him and just praise him because it's the defense that kept the team together right there through the middle part of that season.
Well, that's part of it for sure. No doubt about it. It's part of the story of that season is when they had that dip weeks 2, 3, 4, 5 until Will Rogers took over and kind of got them going in that Georgia game. In that period of time, the only way it was respectable a couple of times was because of that defense. So we got him coming up. And I will tell you, the homecoming queen's in the studio today. What's up?
Hey, JB.
Let's say ABHQ.
JB and AB.
Yeah. She's here in support of me today, and I'm here in support of her. We got champion.
We're all here in support of y'all, man.
Well, I appreciate it.
I want you to know that.
Yeah, I appreciate it very much.
You got lots of people out there that have been, lifting you guys up, and especially not just both of y'all, but Mary Liddy as well, because we've all been through that. That's a tough thing. But you know what? Hey, today's a good day, and we're gonna make the best of this day, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Right.
And so thank you to you, JB, but to so many who listen. We lost a member of our family, little lady, and like to Hog Jowl, and everybody sent messages.
Everybody's been really sweet. JB, you included. You have such a sweetheart, and they're family members. So we've had a hard time. But
that's one of the reasons I've never been able. We were they were talking about animals in movies in the show before us, and Marley and me came up. And I
I've never watched that, and I will never watch it.
I walked in the studio and I looked at Beav and Brooks, and I said, I've watched that movie except for the last 15 minutes, and I am such a basket case that I can't do it.
We're not going to watch it. And I will tell you, it's the most Beaver and Brooks thing ever that the last segment of their show on this day when I'm coming back, the subject happened to be the best animal movies.
Oh, gosh.
The best movie animal characters of all time. Like I'm coming back after 2 days of losing our little puppy. And the first thing I hear them talking about is Old Yeller.
All the things. No.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So I was telling my wife the story about this. Matt, didn't you give Lady to AB?
Yes.
Right before y'all got married, or was it right after?
Well, right after we got married, he gave me Champ. So about 6 months, and Champ had parvo as a puppy. Wasn't supposed to make it. he pulled through, and then the vet said, hey, if y'all are looking to get another dog, you can't get a puppy. You're going to have to get a little dog that's at least a year old. You can't have them out in your yard since Champs had parvo and they could pass it on. And so about a year later, Matt found Lady, and Lady was from Oxford and Champ is from Starkville. So it was a perfect fit. God put them together. And
well, that's what I told Brooks when he was leaving the show. I said, man, y'all are killing us fixing to have to go on the air with this. and I looked at Brooks and I said, you know what? I know somebody loves you, and it's dog spelled backwards.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
Well, and sure enough, thanks to everybody for the kind words, and lots of people have been through it, and so
lots of prayers,
lots
really
of prayers
sweet.
And kind words. Hogjowl, the first to text us today on the Country Pleasing text line, says, I hope y'all have a terrific day. Wishing us peace. Thank you, Caleb and Sherry and everybody on the live stream. So, normal show until HQ has to split and go get half pint. Hopefully she's had a good day at school today. So kind of getting back to normal here today on this Tuesday. And on that note, today, Tuesday, February the 2nd, it is Groundhog Day.
It
so,
is.
Talking about movies. Well,
that
obviously,
movie drives me crazy.
It drives everybody crazy. But how many times have you seen it?
Yeah.
I've seen it 85 times.
I don't know why I keep watching it, but I do.
See, that's the irony in the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. It drives everybody crazy.
You still watch it.
The same day over and over again in the movie drove him crazy. The same movie over and over again drives us crazy, yet we can't get away from it.
Yeah.
We still watch it.
Yeah.
There's something about watching Bill Murray. Oh, and if you hear this has forever been changed for me since I saw that movie.
Yeah. The alarm clock.
Oh, man.
When
When
you hear that, I don't picture Sonny and Cher.
You picture his alarm clock in that
picture,
hotel or whatever he wakes up in.
I picture him waking up in that hotel and all the ways that he began creatively busting the alarm clock into pieces.
Yeah.
Knowing the next day he's going to wake up and all over again. Just over and over again. So I'm sure that on some, cable channel or something somewhere.
I'm sure it's playing somewhere.
It's on loop. They show that thing year-round.
Maybe the Groundhog will come out and tell everybody that Tom Brady will win the Super Bowl.
Do you think?
Yes, I do.
Really?
Yes.
You think Brady's going to beat the Chiefs?
Are you casting shadows over Drago?
I'm really sad to say that because I know you love the Chiefs, and I do too.
Yeah.
But it's Tom Brady. Sometimes I get a little worried about your Chiefs because of that.
See, look, here's
the
thing.
I'll be pulling for the Chiefs.
Well, look at it this way. Okay, your point is valid. And you don't have to go backing it up or whatever. Your point is valid. Because if anyone else were the quarterback for the Buccaneers,
we really wouldn't worry about it.
This would be a no-brainer.
No-brainer.
Everybody on planet Earth would be picking the Chiefs by about 10 to 12 to 14 points, no question, but simply because of Brady. Like, I was thinking about it the other day going, the Chiefs should win this game by 2 touchdowns. But they have Brady.
Yeah.
You can go... Here's the thing about, like, if you look at last year, look at the Super Bowl last year, the way the Chiefs won it. They fell behind. They were down by 2 scores going into the fourth quarter. And then just here they go up and down the field, zip, 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 zip. Their offense came alive. They win the Super Bowl. You could easily see the Chiefs going out and going zip, zip, zip at the beginning of this game. Get up 10-0, 14-0. But because Tom Brady's on the other side, they will come back and get in the game. There's no question about it. So
he's kind of like that. What's that word you use for baseball? The closer. He's kind of the guy you want at the end of the game.
It's certainly
like Mariano Rivera.
Yeah,
he really is.
I hate the Yankees too. So let me say this: there was the conspiracy theory thrown around on the previous sports talk show, and it dealt with the fact that when the NFL found out that Tom Brady was going to Tampa, they set everything up.
Oh yeah, for them to get here.
So Tom could play and beat the Saints on the way because we know the NFL hates the Saints.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What do y'all think?
Well, I think it's a fun theory. It'd be great in a movie, but how are they going to actually pull that off? how do you?
Did they pick Tampa for the location? Who picks that?
No,
he
the location has been picked. Years in advance.
Years in advance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about where the game's going to be played.
Where the game will be. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's picked years in advance. And the thing about it is, nobody picked Tampa for him. Brady picked it.
Okay.
He picked it because of kind of what their team was and who the coach was. He wanted to play for Bruce Arians. And so I don't know how they would have manipulated the season too. And the thing about it is, JB, if they were talking about that, I don't know what a person would point to this season to say, see, I told you they're manipulating the games to make sure Brady.
Oh, it's even better if you look at the fact that they were 7-5,
Mm-hmm.
and then they came back and won 4 straight.
Oh, 4 straight. So you'd have to look at that stretch, right, and find what officials making calls for you and all that kind of stuff.
Here we go. Man.
What was it that he was involved in years ago about pumping up a football or what was that?
Deflategate.
Yeah.
And even before that, it was the grassy knoll.
I just never thought about that the other day.
They, it was a really cold game at
the
Pittsburgh.
Managers were supposedly pumping it up bigger or loose or less. Or
he allegedly. The NFL specifies the inflation levels for every game ball.
Yeah, that's right.
It's got to have a minimum of a certain amount of air pressure in it. And supposedly he was telling them to take a lot of air out. So when their hands were freezing cold, or if they're playing in wet conditions, the ball is more deflated, so it's easier to grip, easier to hang on to, harder for you to fumble, easier to throw and catch in the rain because there's less air in it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So they did. They caught him doing it against the rule. He smashed his cell phone so they couldn't get in there and find the records where he's texting the guy going,
no, he did not.
Yeah, he smashed it.
I didn't know that.
I don't know that I necessarily hold all that against him too bad, to be honest with you, though.
Well, my point.
Well, you wouldn't because your hands are bigger, but he's got little bitty hands.
Does he?
Well, my point
that's why he gripped the football.
My point in bringing it up was nobody really holds that. You don't hear about that. Nobody cares. They're just like, oh, it's just Tom Brady.
Yeah. Well, some people are just hanging on to it, but time does heal anything like that.
Yeah.
Except unless you're Pete Rose.
Well.
We'll see down the road for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
and so the others. Let's see. Sven, who's in Germany, he's watching online on YouTube, and he says he agrees with you, actually. Let's see. Where is it here?
And I hate to say it because I would like the Chiefs to win. It's just Tom Brady.
He's picking Tom Brady 34-31.
Close.
I think if Tampa wins, it'll be a really high-scoring deal. In order for him to...
Hey.
You sound like you've given in to cynicism. Please tell me it's not so.
I always pick Tom Brady. You can ask Matt for years. He'll say, well, I think these people are going to... I'm like, they're playing Brady. Why would you pick against Brady?
One of the memories on Facebook for me yesterday, Annie, and you probably remember this conversation. This was like 2015 or 16. I don't remember what year it was. But I posted it to Facebook because I thought it was funny. And it was a quote from you that says, they're picking against the Patriots, and I go, yeah, because this, that, and the other. And your response was, does Tom Brady play for the other team? I said no, and you said exactly.
Yeah, just think.
No. Believes the Russian is going to always win.
He just reminds me of that guy.
All right, let's see what they're saying over here. QB1 on the Country Pleasing text line. Reminder, y'all text the show. It's 885-ESPN, Country Pleasing Sausage on grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. You know what I did this morning? What? Hold on, QB1. Coming to your text. Side note. Number one, Annie has taken over my favorite Country Pleasing hat.
Yeah.
That's what happens to most of my favorite hats.
Yeah.
Is they eventually wind up on your head.
I don't take your Mississippi State hat.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
They eventually wind up on your head sized out for your ponytail to fit out the back of it.
Yeah.
And
JB needs a few of your state hats.
Well, yes. The teal colored Country Pleasing hat with the red hog on the front. It's hers now. She's wearing it at the moment.
By the way, I have a confession to make real quick about that, if you don't mind.
Hit me.
Because I was incredibly ignorant yesterday. Since we didn't have the show, I went out and visited a buddy in Florence. And I thought, since I'm out here, I'll just go up to this country pleasing store and get some of the sausage that I've been wanting.
Right.
Yeah, I got there and forgot.
Oh, no.
Closed on Mondays.
Oh, no.
That's right. It was Monday.
Yeah, but it was only about 10 minutes from where my buddy was. So, but yeah. Just let everybody know the store on 49 Country Pleasing is closed on Monday.
Closed on Monday. So get out there on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's good.
The other thing I was going to tell you about the sausages. So this morning, I open up the fridge. I'm getting ready to make breakfast, and I open up the fridge, and I realized I had eaten every last bit of the package of jalapeno and cheddar. It was gone. I finished it yesterday, and all I had was about 2.5 inches of that package of blueberry maple.
You love that.
Right. So by eating that for breakfast, that meant there was no more in there. So I had to go into the freezer, and I'm thinking, what kind am I going to get? I reach in, and the first package I pulled out of the freezer to thaw was the new flavor, pineapple and jalapeno.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh,
pineapple
really good.
and jalapeno. It is thawing or thawed right now in the fridge. I'll be partaking of. I may eat it for supper.
You could eat it for the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Sausage and cheese plate.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. We'll have to do that.
Mm-hmm. Maybe some red beans and rice with some sausage in there.
That would be good.
Make your tongue slap your hat off. Okay, over to the text line. Let's do it. QB1 says, Brady picked Tampa because Drew didn't retire last year. Otherwise, he would have been in New Orleans.
What?
What?
Really?
I don't know. That's the first I've heard of that. Annie, when you look at me and you go, really? I feel guilty if I don't have the answer. I feel like you expect me to have the answer.
Well, usually you do. If it's sports related.
Yeah, well, I don't guess I hadn't heard that. I didn't know that was on the table if Drew had retired.
Is Drew Brees gonna retire this year? Is that?
Well, he hasn't said it yet.
Yeah. I wonder about that.
Hey, JB, you run in Saints circles. What do you think? This is it for sure.
Oh well,
for Drew,
I think he's just playing it out. But I think he's just going to wait till after the Super Bowl and let some things shake out.
Almost out of respect for the teams that are still playing, let them make sure they've got the headlines.
I think so. I think that's his. He's just a class guy. Yeah. Plus, as we talked about shortly after that last game, and the time that he spent on the field with Drago, and Drago's throwing touchdown passes to his kids.
Right.
It just seemed like that was the kind of moment to say, you can't really, sure you want to go out winning, but if you're going to go out, it's not a bad way to go out.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
I felt like that game was really sad for him.
But yes, to answer your question, I do think he's gone.
Well, we were watching that last Saints game against Tom Brady. Annabeth kept going. I mean, is Drew Brees really going to end on this?
End on an interception? What?
He's got to come back now.
I was like, no.
Yeah, no. Dog Tired in Florence, thanks for your text. He says, the most caring dog ever, Ruger, a Bernese mountain dog, had to be put down due to cancer. Sad day for sure. It's sad, Dog Tired. I tell you, it's my first time to go through it. It's real grief. And what I've found is that the only people who really understand, like what we're feeling right now, is people like you who've been through it yourself.
That's right.
I'll be honest with you, prior to this, for me and for us and for Lady, I had no idea. I was incapable of empathizing and with
Well, you didn't
people.
Understand it. You didn't quite understand it.
I even had times, that's right, Annie. I even had times when I would see some people and they're grieving and I think, it's just, I don't get it. It's not a person. Well, let me tell you something. Now I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for your text, Dog Tired. Lynn says, Matt, this is regarding Deflategate, Tom Brady. Matt, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Tried and true at all levels. Am I right, Lynn? Ready Teddy says, what is this? I busted Tom Brady getting picky about footballs against the Saints. Okay, Ready Teddy. I saw did you send it to us before or did you tweet it to us? He may have tweeted it to us.
He busted him? He took a picture?
He's got it right here. he recorded with his phone the television that showed a clip of Tom Brady on the sidelines during the same game. He reached behind the bench into the big basket of footballs. He gets one, and then he puts it back, and he tells the trainer something. He reaches in there and gets 2 or 3 more, feels them. And Teddy, who's a big Saints fan, is convinced he has got the video. He's got the smoking gun that proves that Tom Brady's still deflating football. Here's the thing about it, Teddy. The game was indoors. I hate to tell you, but the game was indoors.
Okay, here's a really dumb question, but okay, every team brings their own footballs.
Right.
And when you are on offense, you only play with the football you brought?
Yes. You send your footballs out for offense and for kicking.
Okay.
And let's say I throw an interception.
Is that how it is with everybody? Like SEC people do that?
High school, everything. You use your own footballs.
I did not know that.
Unless something weird happens. Let's say I throw an interception. I'm speaking from experience here.
Yeah, you are.
Let's say I throw one, and they catch my football on defense and return it to the 50. Well, when he's tackled, the referee will take that football and throw it back to my sideline. And when their offense comes out, their ball boy sends the football out that they're going to use. That's why, if you watch State play football, the center snapping the ball, it'll have the Mississippi State logo on it because it's their football.
Okay.
But it's been approved by the officials before the game.
Interesting. I did not know that.
The more you know. Rainbow.
Yeah, good stuff, man.
Annie, I'm so glad you're here. I don't know if I could have jumped on here and done it without you and JB and everybody on the text line and watching online. We're just getting started. Y'all stick around.
This portion of the Matt Wyatt Show is brought to you by Ameristar Casino in Vicksburg. We still have all the big screens, so you can catch all the action regardless of sport.
Trust me on this, you will sleep better on a mattress from Nest and Wild. It's 100% American made, from top to bottom, all the way to the floor. It's a great Mississippi company. It's right here at home. I know the people. Every mattress they make is 12 inches thick. And if you order it, it'll show up in your doorstep in 5 days. So if you're like me and sometimes you procrastinate on Christmas gifts, you can wait right up until the last minute. All right, I'm not suggesting that, but you could do it. And if you use Bully20, BULLY20, you also get a free pillow top mattress cover to go with it. So it's a great deal. Use that code. Go to nestandwild.com, order your mattress, get it here in time for Christmas. Winsipedia.com. Winsipedia.com. Wins, the letter I, pedia.com. Winsipedia.com. If you're a football fan, if you keep up with games, you have a favorite team who's playing somebody new this weekend, certainly if you're a person that's in media, like me, you're in radio or maybe you write, this is an incredible website that's a resource for any historical matchup. You can compare any two teams, just put them in there, no matter who they are in Division I football. It'll give you the entire series history. It'll give it to you visually in a graph. You can click on individual matchups. You can look at the whole list. You can even get information, historical information on just one team. But Winsipedia, it's a great historical matchup resource for college football. Check it out.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
Hey, let me tell you a little bit about C-Spire. If you head with me over to cspire.com, over to their website, this is something you can do. And I noticed this today before I went and logged in. I was going to pay my bill. And it says at the top, deals you can believe in. You click that shop deals, and it takes you over here to a couple of things that you need to know about here for the holiday season. First of all, they're doing a trade-in right now. So like I can take my old iPhone 8 Plus and trade this in for an iPhone 12. The other thing is, I wanted to show you this. First of all, I love the ad with the bull and the Santa hat, but the no bull deal, you probably heard about that on our show. No gotchas and hidden in the fine print in the bill. No most expensive plan requirements. No waiting 3 months to get your promo credit, no having to, bring a phone number with you, all that kind of stuff. I can tell you from experience, I go here, my bill's the same every month. There's not a lot of hidden stuff. My cost doesn't go up. Once I'm in. I know what it costs every month. You get all of that stuff. And I just wanted to make you aware. Just go to cspire.com. You can see all of it. Merry Christmas.
Now back to the Matt Wyatt Show.
Getting going with you here on this Tuesday of Super Bowl week. I'm here in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau studio. The homecoming queen is here. She has taken over my favorite country pleasing sausage hat, the teal one. But luckily I have about what? How many more? 10, 12?
You have a few for sure.
yeah, some more. JB is here. Most importantly, you are here. I appreciate you listening, tuning in, however you're tuning in and listening online or on the radio or watching. Hey to all y'all. Thanks for your comments, your texts, and your phone calls. Let's do the phone call thing first because Chris has been hanging on the Davini Equipment phone line. Davini Equipment in Madison and in Jackson. Your Kubota dealer, the oldest Kubota dealer in the U.S. It means they've been doing it better, longer than everyone else. Right here at Davini. All right, Davini Equipment phone. Chris, thanks for hanging on, man. Appreciate that. What's up?
How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there. How about you?
Yeah, I hate to hear that for y'all. I know. Trust me, I know you know, but I know Miss Annie probably don't know that I have 13 dogs almost at all the time. So even though they're hunting dogs, it still hurts to lose one of them. So
yeah. Well, and I was talking to my dad last night, and his entire life growing up, they didn't have, pets per se, but they had hunting dogs as well. So when we got to talking about, we had Lady for 11 years, and we got to talking about it, and I said, that's the longest I ever had a pet, and all this, first time I ever gone through this. He said, well, he said, I never had one. He said, I had just my whole life had a couple of our, beagles that they run rabbits with that might have lived 11, 12 years, but that's about it, So, it's pretty rare, and we certainly get attached to them. Even those that are, like for you, they're sort of working dogs, but you still get attached to them for sure.
You have 13 dogs. Right. That is the sweetest thing I've ever heard. That is so sweet.
12 beagles and one lab.
That's awesome.
But anyway, what I was going to say, and am I the only one that finds it ironic that Saint fans are sitting here saying, "Oh, well, this season's fixed, blah 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 blah"? I mean, how more ironic could it have been? And if there was any Super Bowl that was ever fixed, it was the 2009 Super Bowl that right after Katrina they went to the Super Bowl magically. So I mean,
Katrina was in 2005.
Well, when did they go?
09.
That was the first year that they were back in the Superdome, right?
No, 06 was the first year they were back in the Superdome.
No, they played 1 year. They played 1 year out of the Superdome because they were reconstructing it because of all the people that stayed in it. So, but I was just saying, everybody was talking about after Katrina and everything else. And the other thing is that they're fixing Super Bowls. Why has it been over 25 years that America's team, or the most beloved team, has been in the Super Bowl? I mean, that's the first argument that you can do. And I know JB is cringing over there because he hates my Cowboys, but I can't help it.
Well, but the other, if I were to go devil's advocate just for the sake of doing it, Chris, I might say, well, here's the thing though: the Cowboys, the most valuable sports franchise in America, maybe they don't need to be in the Super Bowl in order for that to continue to be true. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a devil's advocate approach, but They hadn't been. They haven't
Maybe
won
so.
them, but they're still worth more than any other franchise out there.
I mean, and, everybody hates on them, but guess what? They have to thank the Cowboys for all these teams having podcasts and stuff like that because Joe Jones was the one that started all that.
The Cowboys have never been to the Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah, they have. It's just
Okay.
been a while. Is what
Oh,
we're
okay. It's
saying,
just been a while. Okay.
26 years
Wow.
this year.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah, it is. That's a long time.
Yeah, Troy Aikman was their quarterback. Emmitt Smith was their running back.
Oh,
Michael Irvin was their
Oh,
receiver.
wow. It's been a while.
It has been a while. It sure
Like
has.
I said, my condolences to y'all, and I hope that
Thank you.
I know that y'all will find it one day in your heart to get another one, and time's the only thing that really heals wounds. So y'all have a good day.
I appreciate
Thank
it, Chris.
you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, Country Pleasing text line. What do we have here? Nick says, I saw where KC's team barber tested positive for the coronavirus, which tells me Brady will show up Sunday looking like Grizzly Adams. Wait. See, so if it's Kansas City, I don't know about that. I didn't see that part of it. Kansas City did put 2 players on the COVID list, but it would be bad if you had like the team barber cutting everybody's hair and shaving them. What if Brady did grow a beard? I wonder what he'd look like.
I'm sure it would be a perfect beard. I don't think you need to worry about it. His hair, I'm sure his beard would be perfect like his hair.
It would be groomed.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like a Duck Dynasty beard, is what you're saying.
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it would look like a model.
Whatever gave you that idea?
Yeah, I don't know.
No joke. White Denzel
Makes
says,
me just want to go ugh.
Yeah. Too much perfection makes me want to go ugh.
White Denzel says Drew is retiring. He's waiting till around June to save the Saints some money if he waits till then. Okay. That's another thing I don't understand. All these deadlines and contracts and stuff. I leave that to the really smart people.
There you go.
Coffee Norman says, Matt, the big old town of Ecru, Mississippi in Pontotoc County has a country-pleasing supplier. McCoy's Grocery, I'm told, has a supply. I'm going to check it out.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't it great? And it's not far from here where we live.
It is great.
Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
Well, I just got more country pleasing while you were in the break. I
You
put it
doing
in
the grocery list?
Grocery list. Yeah.
I got a tweet about that, Norman, and you're right. The people at McCoy's are loaded up with country pleasing stuff. And they sent a picture to me on Twitter that included some of the things that a lot of people look for.
Mm-hmm.
Black pepper and cheddar, 3 cheese flavor is really cool. By the way, too, Ecru, which is on Highway 15 between Pontotoc and New Albany, the people there, a lot of them there they don't combine the C and the R. It's 4 letters, ECRU,
Right.
Ecru, Mississippi.
Ecru.
We say Ecru, but a lot of those people say Ecru.
Oh, really?
Ecru.
Ecru?
You hear some of them say Ecru. Anyway, if you go to North Pontotoc High School, that's in Ecru.
Okay.
It's hard to say. All right, back over to the phone. Thibodeau, thanks for calling, man. What's up?
Hey, what's happening?
Not much. Thank you for giving us a shout today.
So I'll go ahead and, get in on the condolences thing. I'll tell you, my wife and I, over the course of our 6-year relationship, have at one time had 4 dogs, 1 cat, and a turtle in a 3-bedroom house.
Oh, that makes me really love you guys. I love that.
Well, the deal is before her and I got together, I had this problem where if I was, scrolling through social media and somebody said, "Hey, I need to unload this dog," I'd just go get it.
Oh,
like I didn't care. Like
Thibodeau, you have a big heart.
History.
You have a big heart.
So, well, the last one that happened was we found a Labrador puppy mixed with something at the vet, and the vet was like, "Yeah, we gave it all its shots. We just need to find it a home." And I was like, "Put it in the truck." So, but we have.
I love it.
When we were on our honeymoon a little over a year ago, my mother stayed at the house and looked after all the dogs, and one of them passed away while we were gone.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry.
So, I had to go through the whole drive back thinking, did Teddy wonder if we were never coming back?
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You just think about that kind of stuff, but And then, 6 months after that, a dog I had for a long, long time we had to put down. So we've lost 2 over the past, year and a half and gained 1. So now we have some sort of large mix. I don't know what it is. We have a disabled dachshund, a very, very, very big cat, and a puppy, about a year and a half old puppy, chocolate lab. So,
wow,
we're doing good.
That's great.
And we want to load them up even more, but we've got to buy some property first. We can't live in this small area. So,
you need some room for them.
So sweet.
Let me tell you a quick country pleasing story before I let you go.
Right.
Sunday, we had andouille etouffee over red potatoes and a strip steak. And I'm going to tell you something. Most people don't put things on a steak, but if you put andouille etouffee on top of a steak,
so good.
Oh, it's heaven.
That sounds great. I've never had that, but doesn't it sound good?
Yes.
Well, just take etouffee, pull the seafood up, part of it out, and just replace it with country pleasing andouille. You get a really spicy sort of cream sauce.
That's great. I appreciate the heads up, man. Let us know next time.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture of it here in a little bit.
Yeah, do that. Text it to me. Thanks, Thibodeau.
Thanks, Thibodeau.
All right, man. Thibodeau Dog Care and Veterinary
I'm telling
Clinic.
you, that makes me really love Thibodeau.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Thanks for the call, Thibodeau. Appreciate you. Oh, look at here. Over on the live stream, Derek brings it up. He wants Dak to go to New Orleans. Everybody begging
Yeah,
for...
what is the deal with that? I've seen that. Is that...
Well,
would that happen? Or?
He's a Louisiana boy, and we got so many Saints fans. But I think we were reading last week, their financials, they have a cap in the NFL, like teams can only spend up to a certain level based on their payroll and all, trying to keep some parity across the league.
Okay.
Well, the Saints are up against it. They're not going to be able to have enough money to go. They're going to hit their head on the cap. They won't be able to pay Dak enough to come to New Orleans.
Well, they won't be paying Drew Brees anymore, right?
Yeah, but
Can't they just give him Drew's money?
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin. What was that movie? And Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
And, what was her name?
It's complicated.
Not Glenn Close.
No, I just forgot her name.
Drawing a total blank.
Oh my gosh.
Kim Basinger?
No. Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep.
That's it.
That's a funny movie.
Steve Martin's in that movie.
What made you think of that?
I was going to say it's complicated, and then that just came out since that's the name of the movie. All right, rolling along. We'll wrap up hour 1 next. Y'all stick around. Trust me on this, you will sleep better on a mattress from Nest and Wild. It's 100% American made, from top to bottom, all the way to the floor. It's a great Mississippi company. It's right here at home. I know the people. Every mattress they make is 12 inches thick, and if you order it, it'll show up in your doorstep in 5 days. So if you're like me and sometimes you procrastinate on Christmas gifts, you can wait right up until the last minute. All right, I'm not suggesting that, but you could do it. And if you use Bully20, BULLY20, you also get a free pillow top mattress cover to go with it. So it's a great deal. Use that code. Go to nestandwild.com, order your mattress, get it here in time for Christmas. Winsipedia.com. Winsipedia.com. Wins, the letter I, pedia.com. Winsipedia.com. If you're a football fan, if you keep up with games, you have a favorite team who's playing somebody new this weekend, certainly if you're a person that's in media, like me, you're in radio or maybe you write, this is an incredible website that's a resource for any historical matchup. You can compare any two teams, just put them in there, no matter who they are in Division I football. It'll give you the entire series history. It'll give it to you visually in a graph. You can click on individual matchups. You can look at the whole list. You can even get information, historical information on just one team, but Winsipedia, it's a great historical matchup resource for college football. Check it out.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
Hey, let me tell you a little bit about C Spire. If you head with me over to cspire.com, over to their website, this is something you can do. And I noticed this today before I went and logged in. I was going to pay my bill. And it says at the top, deals you can believe in. You click that shop deals, and it takes you over here to a couple of things that you need to know about here for the holiday season. First of all, they're doing a trade-in right now. So like I can take my old iPhone 8 Plus and trade this in for an iPhone 12. The other thing is, I wanted to show you this. First of all, I love the ad with the bull and the Santa hat, but the no bull deal, you probably heard about that on our show. No gotchas and hidden in the fine print in the bill. No most expensive plan requirements. No waiting 3 months to get your promo credit. No having to, bring a phone number with you, all that kind of stuff. I can tell you from experience, I go here, my bill's the same every month. There's not a lot of hidden stuff. My cost doesn't go up. Once I'm in. I know what it costs every month. You get all of that stuff. And I just wanted to make you aware. Just go to cspire.com. You can see all of it. Merry Christmas.
Now to get back to our little talk.
Right here on the Matt Wyatt Show.
All right, back with you. Getting all set to wrap up hour number one. Kind of flew by right there. Thanks for all the texts. We got more than we can shake a stick at. We're covered up. We got more than we can handle. And the phone calls from Chris and Thibodeau, you can be like those guys. Everybody can hear your voice. We'd love to hear you. So call me on the Divinity phone, 995-1059. And, of course, the text line number, 885-3776. Might be easier to remember it this way, 885-ESPN. I'm here, JB's here, Homecoming Queen's here, holding my hand through the first hour. Not literally. I mean, we could.
We could.
But it's kind of a far reach over there. Through the first hour, and then she'll split. And just a heads up, if everything goes according to plan, Zach Arnett, Mississippi State defensive coordinator, is set to join us in hour number two, near the beginning of hour two. So really in just a few minutes from now. So if that floats your boat, hang around for that. All right? Sounds good. Hey, our friend from Tupelo, Donna Loden.
Oh.
She said, hey, Annabeth.
Hey, Donna.
She was tuning in on Facebook.
Called Donna Wappy.
Oh, yeah?
Wappy. Do you know what wappy means? Kind of happy, joyful, crazy, just wappy. She's wappy.
She's not wacky.
No.
But she's wacky and happy.
She's the wappiest. I love her.
Okay. Gotcha. Donna, thanks for tuning in. All right. Some more text, Annie. Let's just make our way through and see what people are saying. All right. And so Teddy posted the picture on Facebook. I'll check it out.
Of Deflategate?
Yeah. And look. Okay.
Is the video, did he take the video from the video off the TV? Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. He was watching it on TV and he filmed it with his phone. And
okay.
Tom Brady's a cheater still. And there's where we are on that. There are quite a few text messages on here of condolences, people remembering losing their pets. It's a sad day for us. We're kind of making our way through it. And that's why I've been out. I'll just be honest with you. That's why I've been out. I was a total wreck yesterday. And today, outside of putting on a show for you on the show, I'm sort of still a wreck and a mess.
Well, we're both a mess.
Yeah, we really are. But Dad Esquest says he lost 2 labs. Both were 13 years old.
Oh, wow.
They were by his side for everything. Unnamed texter said, I love dogs and I tolerate people.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
That's good. That needs to be a T-shirt. a bumper sticker, a hat.
Somebody said for us to read the Rainbow Bridge and said prepare for tears. Yeah, well, we got that on Facebook, a friend of ours.
Well, but I've known that Rainbow Bridge for years and years.
Oh, have you?
Uh-huh.
I'd never heard of it until it,
I love that. And then JB sent you that really sweet picture.
Uh-huh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Judy. Hey, Judy. She's got a long text here. Let's see. 2 years ago. Okay, so she says her husband Doug and her, they are in our corner. January 31st, 2 years ago, had to make a hard decision. Had a lab named Gabby.
Oh.
So lots of remembrances.
That's really sweet.
Who was it? Somebody texted and said, this is a sad show today. I forget. It was Mason from Weston said, sad show today, man.
Not sad.
Well,
Not
it's
sad at all. Cathartic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
good,
just
JB.
Well,
sadly.
It's
a lot
life.
of people go to therapy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the people that need help, they tune into the Matt Wyatt.
They tune into the...
Can always count on JB. He knows.
That's right.
It's good.
We used to sort of do it not off the cuff, but for comedic purposes. When Beaver was here, JB, sometimes I would say, hey, Beaver, you've got your psychology degree, right? And he would lie and say yes. And I'd present to him some sort of internal issue I was having as if he were going to solve it for me. And what he would do is every time he'd start out leading you on as if he had a real answer, but every time he would wind up at, it went back to some internal issue I still had with Jackie Sherrill.
Oh, okay.
Everything.
There you go.
Beaver's answer for everything was, well, Matt, I think this goes back to
Jackie Sherrill.
Dealing with Jackie.
You're still dealing with the way that Jackie Sherrill used to talk to you, stuff like that.
And hey, they're big dog lovers. They're really big dog lovers.
Oh, yes. Corgis. Coach Sherrill used to bring his dog out to practice.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. Even one of them, little Corgis, they have the big full body.
Little short legs.
And the little bitty short legs. And one day at practice, my roommate, Paul Mooney, who was an offensive lineman, somebody mentioned to Coach, says, Coach, look at Paul. Like he said he's all torso. Paul was like this 6'8" guy, but from the waist down, like from the waist to the ground, he wore like a 32.
Don't say that.
And that's when Coach Sherrill said, yeah, he's kind of like my dog, got those little bitty short legs. And we never let Paul live that down.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
We never let him live it down. Larry is hanging on the Davini phone. Thanks for calling, Larry. What's up?
Not much. You said call, so I called.
Well, okay. You being obedient today. Okay, good.
Right. Hey, well, you were talking about dogs, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Hey, look, two things. One, there's a lot of cowboy hate, but back when I was younger in the late 70s, a kid, the evil empire was the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the America team was the Dallas Cowboys. They were the only people who could every once in a while beat the Steelers.
Mm.
And I hear all this cowboy hate now, and I think it has more to do with Jerry Jones than it does the Cowboys. I think it's Jerry Jones hate more than anything else.
Mm.
So I just wanted to put that out there. Hey, talking about dogs, I grew up in the country, and we had a dog. We used to get dogs dropped off at our house all the time. We feed them, take care of them. I never got attached. We had this one little black dog get dropped off, and I joined the Marine Corps, and every day before I went to boot camp, it was 2 miles from my house to my uncle's house. I'd run there and back, and that little dog run with me every single day.
Oh, sweet.
And I kind of got attached to him, so I left to go to boot camp, and he come home for 9 days, after you finish boot camp, and I come home and asked my mom, where's that little black dog? She said, it died about 3 days after I left.
Oh.
And, usually I would have been sad, but I just spent 3 months getting reprogrammed to, to kill. So it didn't bother me then, but now when I look back, it kind of bothers me.
Yeah.
I kind of like to think that dog died of a broken heart because I left. But who knows?
Who knows?
But that was a long time ago. I don't get attached to animals. My kids and wife have pets, and when those pets die, I don't feel bad because the pet died, but I feel bad for my family.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh, sure.
I hate to see them hurt over it, but I just don't get attached to animals. So,
yeah. Well,
as that part goes, I really don't know the feeling, but I can see my kids and wife hurt when they lose a pet.
Well,
I'll let you go, man. Appreciate
all right,
it.
thanks, Larry. I appreciate the call.
It's really sweet.
And thank you for your service.
That's right.
Most importantly.
That's right.
You know, we talk about real heroes, and I think in reality, for me, there are no heroes above those that go out of their way to voluntarily put themselves in harm's way to protect me.
That's right.
So that I can be here with my family. So I am forever, ever grateful, Larry, for you and others.
That's right.
Yeah, man, I tell you what. Today, in this hour, two themes: Deflategate and dog stories.
And dog stories, yeah.
B-Dog2 says, the Deflategate talk reminded me. I ran the rock and roll marathon during the height of Deflategate, and some guy ran the whole race while juggling 3 very flat footballs and wearing a Tom Brady jersey.
Is that true? No.
Apparently, so hold on. What is this rock and roll marathon?
Where is that? Is that Memphis?
I don't know.
Is that St. Jude? No.
I mean, but any marathon is
26 miles?
Is a long way to run. Juggling.
That can't be true.
Juggling 3 flat footballs in a Tom Brady jersey.
That's pretty funny.
Why?
Well, yeah. Well, there you go.
Hey, I would like to make a comparison. They're talking about people hating the Dallas Cowboys. He says he thinks it's because of Jerry. It's been 20 plus, going on 30 years since they've won something significant, yet they're still the most valuable franchise. In that way, they are different than the Yankees. Yankees are going to win it every now and then. They're going to make a deep run in the playoffs in baseball. But the Cowboys haven't. Okay? Yet they still are America's team. They still are the most, valuable franchise. I think they are the NFL version of Notre Dame.
Huh.
Notre Dame in college football is hated universally. Okay? I don't really get it. I don't hate them. I don't.
I'm with you. I hated them when I was growing up, just like I hated the Cowboys.
Well, see, and I'll tell you this, growing up in Alabama.
How can you hate Notre Dame? That's where Rudy went.
Rudy.
I know. That was before I had met Rudy.
That movie is so good. I cry every time.
So for me, my age, growing up in Alabama, like my dad's generation, people that grew up through the era of Notre Dame's dominance in college football and all that kind of stuff, those folks in Alabama, especially that older generation, loathe Notre Dame.
Really?
And one of the things you always heard about them is, well, they'll rank them in the top 10 just because they're Notre Dame. You can just get ready for it. They'll put them on TV just because they're Notre Dame. You just better get ready for it. And I think people view the Cowboys kind of the same way.
Well, everybody always knew that Notre Dame was treated special. Back in the day, there weren't that very many independent schools.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame got all this stuff, and as years progressed and conferences became more and more, Notre Dame realized that they can't make it all by themselves anymore.
They're trying to, but things just aren't quite the same. That's for sure.
So y'all have your interview coming up, right?
Zach Arnett, defensive coordinator, Mississippi State, all set to start us off in hour 2 right around the corner. Annie, really appreciate you being here.
Thanks for letting me be here. Thanks for taking care of him, JB.
You bet, man.
Congrats on the hats. Really nice looking hat. Country pleasing hat.
Country pleasings for every season.
Atta girl. All right, y'all stick around.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
We are about to have a fire and cook some sausage. A country pleasing sausage is outstanding, whether you cook it over a fire or in the house. Cook some of this right here. It's green onion flavor. You see that? But this right here is my favorite, the maple flavor. And this is great for breakfast. It's awesome cooking it in the house because it makes the whole house smell good. Oh yeah. Let's eat country pleasing sausage, the best, hands down. If you go to countrypleasin.com, you can actually order this and deliver it to your house. Country Pleasin' sausage, hands down, the best. Trust me. Hey, let me tell you a little bit about C Spire. If you head with me over to cspire.com, over to their website, this is something you can do. And I noticed this today before I went and logged in. I was going to pay my bill, and it says at the top, deals you can believe in. You click that shop deals, and it takes you over here to a couple of things that you need to know about here for the holiday season. First of all, they're doing a trade-in right now. So like I can take my old iPhone 8 Plus and trade this in for an iPhone 12. The other thing is, I wanted to show you this. First of all, I love the ad with the bull and the Santa hat, but the no bull deal, you probably heard about that on our show. No gotchas and hidden in the fine print in the bill. No most expensive plan requirements. No waiting 3 months to get your promo credit. No having to, bring a phone number with you, all that kind of stuff. I can tell you from experience, I go here, my bill's the same every month. There's not a lot of hidden stuff. My cost doesn't go up. Once I'm in. I know what it costs every month. You get all of that stuff. And I just wanted to make you aware. Just go to cspire.com. You can see all of it. Merry Christmas.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank, because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
You hear me say Davini Equipment in Madison and in Jackson a lot on the radio show. Highway 51 in Madison, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson. And yeah, it's tractors, okay? Kubota tractors, they have New Holland tractors, big equipment, skid steers, ATVs, all that. But you need to know this time of year, if you're a deer hunter, if you know a deer hunter in the area, anywhere around Madison and Jackson, Davini has everything, okay? I'm not talking about just, feeders and all the stuff that goes with that, but tree stands, climbing stands, chairs, camo this, camo that, boots, accessories, everything for the hunter. Davini Equipment, Highway 51 Madison, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I've been accused of wearing a lot of hats in my career. And if you go to the Mississippi State University golf course, you can wear a lot of hats. A lot of the same hats I wear. Oh, that's nice. You like that. On Twitter, they are at Hail State GC. Or call them 325-3028. That's the Mississippi State University golf course. You can wear a lot of hats. Hail State.
It's time to get back to the Matt Wyatt Show.
Live in the studio.
Online at thezone1059.com and on your radio at ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
All right, here we go. Hour number 2 of the show on this Tuesday with you off and running. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Matt. In the Bureau, the Farm Bureau studio, Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau. Check them out, favrates.com. I stay connected to you around the clock because of C Spire, the number one network in Mississippi. C Spire, customer inspired. If you are just tuning back in, you've been out a little bit. I was out the last couple of weeks. Last couple of days. But a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned to you, I went and got a new phone. The new iPhone 12 Pro Max from C Spire. And it's got the 3 cameras on the back. Well, on the back, of course they're on the back, but the 3 cameras, 3 different, angles, wide angle, regular, I guess, and zoom and everything else. And it's on the C Spire network, the number one network in Mississippi, so I have no trouble whatsoever. So, in fact, when I'm here in my hometown of Tupelo, I very seldom even turn the Wi-Fi on the phone. I just use the signal. Can't speak highly enough either about the process of doing curbside. I just went to my local C Spire, pulled up curbside, let them know I was there with a text. Out they come. Everybody's got masks on. They take the stuff in, the old phone, come out with the new stuff. It's already set up, and I'm gone. It was great. So if you need to upgrade right now and you're still a little iffy about going in and, the whole face-to-face thing or around people you don't know because of COVID, just do the curbside. And it's a really convenient thing, and I can attest to it. It worked great for us. Nice and easy. All right, here we go. Hour 2 underway. Now, you can call me, text me anytime here on the show. Text me on the Country Pleasing text line, 885 ESPN, 601-885-ESPN. Call me on the Divinity phone. It's 995-1059. 995-1059. In just a few minutes from now, if everything goes according to plan, we get a chance to have a conversation with Zach Arnett, defensive coordinator at Mississippi State. And, there's a lot of things I guess people would want to talk to him about. I'm a little selfish when it comes to getting time with football coaches, and we may talk a little X's and O's and just see how we get into that. I'm always curious to learn from guys and that are out here designing defenses to try to stop modern day offenses and coverages and all that kind of stuff. So we may get into some of that with Zach when that pops up here in just a few minutes. Let's see here, though. While we have a couple. Oh, Thibodeau did send the picture of the medium rare strip steak and red potatoes covered in country pleasing andouille etouffee. So he made etouffee with country pleasing andouille sausage and then put that over the steak and potatoes. And he sent me a picture of it. And buddy, if you weren't hungry before, look at that picture and tell me how you feel now. I want some. You hear me? I want some. Over here on the live stream, real quick, say hey to Robert. Robert, I appreciate you always tuning in and being a part of the show online. He's watching on Facebook right now. Robert said, you know why Dallas is called America's team? He says the Pittsburgh Steelers were first approached to be called this by the NFL, and the Rooneys declined. Dallas was approached next, and they accepted it. Interesting. I'd have to go back and kind of read some of that. I really would love to kind of learn about it. You have this as a Braves fan. For me, growing up in the South, I have this image in my head. If somebody goes America's team, I don't even think football. I think baseball. The Atlanta Braves on Superstation WTBS, one of about 4 stations we got on our little knob TV in our living room at the pastoral home in Selma, Alabama. It had 2 knobs, a volume knob and a channel knob. And I was the remote control for a lot of years. Hey, Matt, go up there and change the channel. Hey, Matt, go up there and flip it on the news. Hey, Matt, go up there and put it on the Braves game. And at some point, kindergarten age Matt got tired of it and said, I'm tired of having to get up and change the channel. And my dad goes, well, tell you what, let's go get a new TV. And we went and got our first remote control television. And the remote control was it wasn't even as big as this iPhone from C-Spire. It was about, a third of the height, about that wide, and it had 4 buttons on it. Volume up, volume down, channel up, channel down. That's it. 4 buttons is all we needed. So when I hear America's team, I think baseball. I think Braves. And even though I don't even know if they go by that anymore. Although, and I'll tell you this, I am worried that I'm not going to get to watch as many Braves games going forward because I know the regional network stuff is really changing up. And we did the whole cut the cable deal. We got away from, cable and satellite. We're just doing the online streaming services now. So I have no idea if we're going to get it going forward or not. I just don't know. All right, as I said, just kind of getting started here, hour number 2. I'm Matt. JB's here. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's get into it right now. The aforementioned defensive coordinator, Mississippi State, Zach Arnett. First-year defensive coordinator this past season. Heck of a job, that defensive unit. Kind of kept them in some games early in the year where otherwise they wouldn't have been in them. And the offense really struggled. But we're consistent. A top 5 defense this past year in the SEC. And the man at the charge of it, Zach Arnett, on your radio right now on the Davini Equipment phone line. Coach, I really do appreciate some time here on a Tuesday when I know y'all are busy, signing day coming up, but hope all is well in Stark Vegas. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir. Always good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Is there a big, huge difference? This is a loaded question, by the way. Big, huge difference living in Starkville versus San Diego, California?
No, my cost of living's a lot better. I got a lot more, land at my house, and I probably fit in with the people better. So
yeah,
for me, it's phenomenal.
That's great. Hey, this is going to be kind of a long way to kind of get into your head, but this is just something that I observed recently, and I just want to get your thoughts on it. I was going back. I guess this happened about the time I was watching Georgia play in the Peach Bowl. They played Cincinnati. And Cincinnati's defense goes out of Georgia, and they're a 3-3-5, primarily a 3-man front. It might look a little different, but they had a game plan and a game that looked so similar to your game against Georgia, where you went out, shut their run game down, and that outstanding quarterback on the other side just hit a few throws, and that was really the difference in a very close game. And I'm just curious, do you think that Cincinnati watched your film of your game against Georgia and said, we're going to do the same thing, and that's why we saw that in that bowl game for them?
Oh, I don't know about that. Cincinnati play awfully good defense. I know I'll be studying their films this offseason to see all the good things they do, but I imagine they watched it just because you're going to scout every game of your opponent when you play in a bowl game, so you're going to watch every single one of their games, and I'm sure they saw some things that they have similar things in their defensive package. So it would be easy for them to do a couple of those things. But at that time of the year, you know who your best players are. You know what you do well and maybe what you don't, and you tend to major in the things you do well. So I imagine what you saw them do in that game, they were probably doing in a lot of other games leading up to it.
Zach, how would you even frame up the challenge that you faced this year with players, or the lack of, I'm just talking about numbers. Like for instance, that I mentioned the Georgia game, that was one where you got right at 50 total players on the team and a bunch of guys out on defense. How do you even describe what that was like juggling personnel from week to week?
To be honest with you, I think that's the best thing about working for Coach Leach is that, in the very first staff meeting ever working for him, he let us all know, first of all, we're always 100% healthy no matter what, right? I mean, we got players, we got just enough resources. That's our job as coaches, to put them out there in the best position to be successful and to find ways to be productive and win games. So,
there's no excuses allowed in this program, and so you don't spend your time thinking about all that stuff. You just go to work and figure out how you're going to give your guys the best chance to be successful and be competitive and win. And so we need to win more games.
Yeah.
But the guys did a good job of preparing and playing hard this year. And typically, if you approach the game with that mentality and get yourself jacked up and ready to play every week, you're going to have success.
Zach Arnett, defensive coordinator of Mississippi State. He's on your radio right now on the Davini phone line. So, do fans, but particularly media like us too, do we make too big a deal about scheme? Like, running a 3-3-5. Long before you ever even got to Starkville, when you were hired, fans are looking up the 3-3-5 and talking about the 3-3-5 and trying to figure out what the heck it is. Do we make too big a deal out of scheme and not a big enough deal out of players and just personnel? What do you think?
I'm of the opinion that there is not a scheme in the world that works without good players.
Yeah.
The players make the scheme work. So ideally, as a coach, right, you try to tailor your scheme to the strengths of the personnel you have on the field. I have a feeling that the version of the defense we ran this year will probably be a little different next year because we'll have different players, on our roster.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to play to our strengths. But I think scheme can be credited with too much. You have to have enough scheme so that you're not predictable and the opposing offensive scheme just, outclasses you.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, players are the ones who execute the scheme and make anything work. I mean, it ain't the scheme that is making Emmanuel Forbes intercept passes and return them for touchdowns and making him a freshman All-American. That's the player.
Sure. Well, and you mentioned, turnover and, from year to year. I guess, too, Zach, this is going to be a brand new experience for you coordinating this defense in 2021 because you're going to have a spring practice. I mean, right? Because you didn't have one last year.
We did not. It'll be good. I mean, number one, it's just going to be good to get to be around the players that much more. And that's how you develop guys, you identify guys who are going to, hopefully help you win a bunch of ball games the next year. And it helps you build those personal relationships with the players so you can coach them hard and yet they still understand that you care about them and you have their best interest at heart.
Sure. I wanted to ask you, kind of going back to the X's and O's part of it too. I'm just fascinated to hear people who are experts talk about it and how you mix and match, whether it be coverages.
We'll have to find you someone else to talk to
there. Well, and you've already kind of set the table because you said, the Jimmies and the Joes are what make any scheme go, and we certainly understand that. But I'm curious, you can watch a lot of football at any level, and you'll obviously see where, there are some coaches that they bring less pressure. They more want to bend, don't break, make sure we don't give up a home run. There are other like I watch you. I watch your defense in that Georgia game, for instance, and you're playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage, playing man-to-man coverage a bunch and just pressuring the heck out of you, hold Georgia to 8 yards rushing in the ball game. Is that strictly some coaches have a preference, or like why is it that some coaches live off pressure on defense more than others?
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot of things that go into it. Obviously, it's players you have on your roster. If you feel they can be successful in those matchups, obviously every week we sit down as a defensive staff and discuss. All right, how good are their skill players? How good does their quarterback throw versus man as opposed to zone? Is he better throwing, when there's more droppers in zone coverage, or does he throw better when they're blitzing him and it's man coverage? You have to study all those things and play the percentages. But I think a lot of it obviously comes down to your philosophy too. There's a lot of good ways to play defense, and you'll see it. You just look at the best teams in the country every year in defense, no matter what metric: scoring defense, yards given up, third down defense, whatever it is. Right, you're going to see different philosophies and approaches into how best to play defense, and typically those correspond to what your players do best. But some people believe don't ever give up a big play. Make them dink and dunk it all the way down the field. And if you don't give up big plays, the offense will typically make a mistake or get off schedule, and you get a chance to get a third down stop. Other teams want to be more aggressive and try to create more negative plays, because if you can create a negative play, that you get the offense off schedule, and it's obviously much harder to convert second and longs and third and longs. So there's different philosophies. Obviously, a lot of times those play into what you do on the other side of the ball also. So there's a lot of good ways to play really good football on both sides of the ball, and you see that throughout college football.
Sure. When you came in and got the job, at Mississippi State going into last year, we can obviously look back at the results, and by and large, it was outstanding in a lot of ways, but certainly a lot of room for growth as well. What did you find? And I know you're a year into it, but when you dive into personnel and you started coaching them in preseason, in terms of the personnel on that roster, what did you find was there for you to coach?
I think you find that the pieces are there. Now, obviously, you got to coach them, you got to develop them, but I hope there was a little bit of a chip on the shoulder of some of the guys on our defense last year, and I hope they keep it, because there's a lot of experts out there saying didn't have good enough players or didn't have pieces. Who's this guy? Who's that guy? There's no way they should be expected to be any good. We might as well just go down and lay down and let the opponent roll over us. And I think there was a little bit of a chip on the shoulder of some guys that, hey, you know what? I got recruited to play football here in the SEC, and I'm good enough I'm going to go out and prove I'm good enough. And I think some guys developed, and they performed higher than expectations, and hopefully they understand that now the bar has been raised and the expectations have gotten higher. So we got to work harder. We got to put more time in the weight room, on the practice field, and in the film room, because now people expect us to be pretty good on defense, and we don't want to lay an egg. So, hopefully there's a little bit of pressure, because if you're a competitor, you like that. You want to go out and prove you're good enough.
Sure. Coach, I'll be honest, I deserve a tongue lashing, because I think I was probably one of those. And that at times said, from a personnel standpoint, you're so young in certain spots going into the year, they're going to have to score on offense. I did it. I'll just admit it. And I think what I was doing is probably looking at, like, corner, for instance. I knew Emerson, what he could do, but he's going to be a true sophomore, and then you look at the other side and you're going freshman, new face. I was looking at the secondary and how young, and really across the board, you played so physical and tackled so well. Do you think that going back to the beginning of last year, that you might have even, you make some mistakes, like, you blow a coverage against LSU that should be a touchdown, and a guy, Jordan Davis, is hustling and hits a quarterback's arms and turns it into an interception. You just basically overcame some early inexperience just by playing harder than people?
Well, I do. I am of the belief that the effort and the physicality you play with is the number one fundamental of good defense. I happen to believe that you can't be good on defense, which, by the way, by no means are we good. We have a long way to go. But you don't even have a chance to be good on defense nowadays if you don't play with fanatical effort. And so we have to get better at that. But you have to be supremely talented with the way the game is today, how their offenses are spreading you out, the way the rules are. You have to be supremely talented to just line up and be flat out better than the guys across from you. For the most part, there is parity across college football. Everyone's capable. Everyone has good players. Everyone has athletes. You're spread from sideline to sideline. If you do not play with fanatical effort and run to the ball and do all those things, play true team defense, you're not going to be very good on defense. So we have a long way to go in order in creating that and getting and living up to that expectation every day. But I think we're off to an okay start.
Sure. Well, and looking back, I just think that play by Jordan Davis in that LSU game, he's getting held by an offensive lineman. He's pushing through. He won't stop. He won't use getting held as an excuse. Barely gets a hand on the elbow of the QB, and it turns into a pick for the corner who they had an issue, like a bust back there. I thought, you know what,
Yeah.
you circle that play and you could show this. This is why I'm asking you to play as hard as you can, even if you don't feel like the play's coming to you. This is why. I thought that was a great example.
No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. You can bet that clip will be shown in a defensive meeting, in install meetings leading up to spring ball. And you can bet I've told Jordan I expect about 10 more of those in his career. Save us on a busted coverage, and somehow a touchdown turns into an interception.
Yeah. I thought this when I was watching it too. I thought, they gave the touchdown chain or the necklace to the guy who caught the ball, but they need to take it down there to Jordan and let him wear it, because he made I thought they gave the reward to the wrong guy. But anyway, it still is
like spelling a power play, the guy who takes up 2 blocks, the linebacker gets scraped to make the tackle, but it was the D end in front of him who took up 2 blockers.
That's it. That's exactly right. There's so much hidden in there, and you guys know what that is. Well, it's neat to get a chance to talk to you, and it always goes by quickly, and hopefully we can do it again soon. But it's really been my pleasure, and I hope we can talk some X's and O's down the road. We get into spring ball and see you on the practice field. Coach, thank you so much.
No, I really appreciate it. You keep telling everyone, right, we got no players. We got an idiot coach who doesn't know RPO from play action, and we run a gimmick defense. Keep everyone's expectations down. So
I will certainly do it. Yeah, they're really going to have to overachieve to stop anybody this year. Okay, I'll make sure I keep that up. Thanks, Zach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's Zach Arnett, defensive coordinator, Mississippi State. I'll be honest with you, I did it. I got on this show. I said they're so young in the secondary. They're thin. They're going to have a hard time stopping people. They got to score points, and it turns out their defense was the most consistent part of their team all year long. So I was wrong. Hour 2 rolling along in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau studio. Y'all stick around. Trust me on this, you will sleep better on a mattress from Nest and Wild. It's 100% American made, from top to bottom, all the way to the floor. It's a great Mississippi company. It's right here at home. I know the people. Every mattress they make is 12 inches thick, and if you order it, it'll show up in your doorstep in 5 days. So if you're like me and sometimes you procrastinate on Christmas gifts, you can wait right up until the last minute. All right, I'm not suggesting that, but you could do it. And if you use Bully20, BULLY20, you also get a free pillow top mattress cover to go with it. So it's a great deal. Use that code. Go to nestandwild.com, order your mattress, get it here in time for Christmas. Winsipedia.com. Winsipedia.com. Wins, the letter I, pedia.com. Winsipedia.com. If you're a football fan, if you keep up with games, you have a favorite team who's playing somebody new this weekend, certainly if you're a person that's in media, like me, you're in radio or maybe you write, this is an incredible website that's a resource for any historical matchup. You can compare any 2 teams, just put them in there, no matter who they are in Division I football. It'll give you the entire series history. It'll give it to you visually in a graph. You can click on individual matchups. You can look at the whole list. You can even get historical information on just one team, but Winsipedia, it's a great historical matchup resource for college football. Check it out.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team. Hey, let me tell you a little bit about C-Spire. If you head with me over to cspire.com, over to their website, this is something you can do. And I noticed this today before I went and logged in. I was going to pay my bill. And it says at the top, deals you can believe in. You click that shop deals, and it takes you over here to a couple of things that you need to know about here for the holiday season. First of all, they're doing a trade-in right now. So like I can take my old iPhone 8 Plus and trade this in for an iPhone 12. The other thing is I wanted to show you this. First of all, I love the
ad with the bull and the Santa hat. But the no bull deal, you probably heard about that on our show. No gotchas and hidden in the fine print in the bill. No most expensive plan requirements. No waiting 3 months to get your promo credit. No having to, bring a phone number with you, all that kind of stuff. I can tell you from experience, I go here, my bill's the same every month. There's not a lot of hidden stuff. My cost doesn't go up. Once I'm in. I know what it costs every month. You get all of that stuff. And I just wanted to make you aware. Just go to cspire.com. You can see all of it. Merry Christmas.
It's the Matt Wyatt Show on 105.9 The Zone and worldwide online at thezone1059.com.
All right. Back with you. Hope you enjoyed the conversation with Zach Arnett, defensive coordinator, Mississippi State. I had a good time talking to him. We'll get a chance to do that some more. And maybe get into a little bit more X's and O's here and there. It was interesting. Get this, JB. When the interview was over, I got a text from Marcus Dupree. And you know what the text from Marcus said?
What's that?
It said, Matt, it's okay to be wrong sometimes. LOL.
My youngest son's doing some stuff with Marcus, and one of the other former producers around here.
Do what now? Say it again.
Yeah, they've got some stuff that Jackson, that used to be here, is doing some stuff with Marcus these days.
Right. Yeah.
And, he's son's with Jackson. So
how about that? He's a fun guy to talk to, isn't he?
He's a great dude. And when I was a freshman at Clark College in Newton, he was a senior at Philadelphia. And before coming back home on Friday nights, we would, me and the boys would load up in the car, my green Capri, and we would head to Philadelphia and watch some tornadoes.
Yeah.
He was a man amongst children. I can just tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah. Not only physically, but in terms of the results as well. I mean, it's just he was abnormal. And hey, I'll tell you this: there's all kinds of stories out there. I was at an event at Tupelo Christian Preparatory School, TCPS, a couple of years ago, JB.
Yeah.
And it was an event where Marcus Dupree was actually talking to their football team. And a good friend of mine, a guy named Coach David Wilkerson, who long-time high school, junior college coach here in Mississippi, was there. And they got to talking, and David was a young assistant coach at a school. And I don't remember what it was, but it was one of the schools that Philadelphia would play against pretty regularly. And they talked and kind of hit it off. And when Marcus got up to give his speech, he pointed out, he said, it's good to see you, Coach Wilk. And he said, I remember what y'all did. He called the name of the school. He said, because we showed up at the game, he said, and we hadn't had a thunderstorm in 4 weeks in central Mississippi. And we showed up to the game, and y'all's field was soaking wet. Mud and soaking wet. Yep. And Coach Wilkerson got to laughing and turned red in the face. And all he said was, hey, I can't help it if somebody accidentally left a sprinkler on that night before the game.
That happened more than once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so it was Kosciuszko. Y'all hear that, Kosciuszko? Shenanigans. Shenanigans. That's what that was. Soaking the field down. Tell you what, man.
Sure it did. I'm sure it didn't stop him. Anytime they bring up his name, I've got a couple plays that I think about when he was a senior and I watched him. I could take a kickoff 110 yards, almost in the back of the end zone, went all the way.
Mm-hmm.
But the one, that Fiesta Bowl, after I think he'd had broken his leg, he came back and ran for like 4,220 yards in the game.
Is that right?
Oh man, yeah. He was just and that was in college in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, in the Fiesta Bowl. Yeah, he was built different. He's built different. Yep, some people are. Hey, side note, I know I'm jumping here, but you'll have to help me, JB.
All right, what can I do for you?
The video game is coming back.
Yep.
So
they announced it. They announced it, I believe, during Brooks's show today, but it's set for a release date in like 2022. Really? Yeah.
All right, let's see right here. EA Sports announces they are bringing back their college football game. Now, here's what I want to know. Are we going to promote the idea that people ought to be playing video games, or are we going to go like Hank Hill, get off my lawn, y'all don't need to be playing those stupid video games? Like, where are we on it?
I can tell you where I am.
Where are you? Tell me. Be honest.
I've never been any good at it, so I just didn't do it.
Don't do it. You can't win. Why do it?
I mean, the last video game I played was probably in 83 or 84, and it was Miss Pac-Man.
Buddy, here's my problem. I have played video games at different times in my life, and I am of the age where, like, people my age came up with video games. Like,
yeah.
I was a kindergarten age kid when you could get an Atari. What was it? Well, you had Commodore 64 or something like that, and then you had the Atari that people could get in their houses, in their homes. And then a few years later, I'm a third, fourth grade kid when people started getting the original Nintendo in their house and sitting around playing video games all the time. So I played Super Mario and all these different things. And it's fun. The times that I played video games in my life, which is a very, very few, they're fun. I'll give you that. They are fun to play. My problem with it is every time I've either played them myself or seen someone else playing video games, I immediately had the thought, there's something better we should be doing with our time. I've always felt that way. When I would sit there and play, even as a kid, I would have a sense of guilt.
Yeah.
Going, I really should be doing something. I'm not even moving. I'm sitting
like watching
on
the microwave tick time away. Basically.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it. And that's just, I realize that is the most, as the kids say, that's the most boomer thing. You don't like video games. How old are you, Matt? I mean,
no, it's not that I don't like them. I think they're a huge waste of time, but I think most people use them for babysitters. Now, all right, I'll tell you a story. This is what bothers me. I've got a good friend, and he lives in another part of the metro area, but he works in a completely opposite part. And so his boss has a little house that he has, and there's a let's say a 22-year-old living there.
Yeah.
And my buddy says every time he walks in, the guy's on playing video games, and every time he leaves, he's on it. And he's supposed to be in college, right? And he says, "Man, do you ever go to class?" And he goes, "No, man, we're all doing virtual right now."
Mm-hmm. Virtual. You doing virtual, all right. You sure are. What are you going to do? Learn it by osmosis because you're in the same zip code? That's about it. Otherwise, you're over here hitting A, B, C, C, start.
Yeah, see, I have no idea.
And I'm telling you, I have I don't have a problem with it. I'm having a real hard time reconciling so many people wasting so much time sitting there, and the only thing moving is their thumb. I'm telling you, every time I played video games, it felt guilty.
Big candidates for carpal tunnel syndrome in a few years.
Well, it's like, look, here's another thing. Okay, I'm going to take you back into the head of 10-year-old Matt sitting there at a Nintendo at his neighbor's house. Now, we're sitting here playing basketball on a video game. And this little dude on the screen, I hit this button and he shoots the basketball. Literally 25 feet from us in the driveway is an actual basketball goal and an actual ball. I can go shoot the ball myself for real, in real life. And it's 25 feet away. But instead, I'm sitting here not moving, doing it on a screen. This makes no sense. I've never thought it made any sense. Now, if you go, well, look, Matt, some people can't play ball. Well, I guess you're right. JB, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to see what Brett Favre thinks about it?
I think that was the next up on the agenda.
Let's try that. Next up on the agenda, Brett Favre with thoughts on EA Sports college football. You have the floor. Your toughness. Go ahead.
Hi, how you doing, Matt? Well, I like playing that when I was a long time ago. I liked playing that game when I was off of football. I'd do that, and then I'd go outside, bale some hay, and run around in my underpants, do stuff like that.
Yay. Yeah. You didn't take any pictures, did you?
That was part of the fun. I made sure to hide.
Come on now. Dadgummit.
Hey, and you were talking about Hank Hill earlier. I got him over here right now.
Oh, great. Let me talk to Mr. Hill, Hank Hill, who sells propane and propane accessories at Strickland Propane out there and somewhere in the nowhere of Middleville, Texas. Hank, you there?
Oh, Hank, come over here. Oh, how you doing there, Matt? This is me, Hank Hill.
Oh, this is a real pleasure. One of the stars of my favorite shows. What do you think about video games?
Well, what I think of it, sometimes it's okay if you don't play it too much. Only do it 5 or 10 times, and that's 10 minutes. I keep having to tell Bobby to get off the dang Xbox. Get off the dang Xbox, Bobby. Well, he won't get off of it. And it'll make me mad. If they ever make a game about propane and propane accessories, I think I'll be happy.
If they make that game, I'll be happy to play it. Thank you, Hank. Tell Brett. Appreciate him stopping by.
All right, man.
You got an F in English?
An F in English? Bobby, you speak English.
Yes. Can't laugh at yourself. That was fun. Your text, your phone calls coming up. Y'all stick around.
There's a game on the back that's lots of fun to do. All of the kids in the neighborhood say Tootsie Roll Pops are triple good. Triple good. You'll love Tootsie Roll Pops.
Hi, I'm Mike Wallace with a sensational shortening discovery for better baking and frying. It's Procter & Gamble's Golden Fluffo, the first all-new shortening in 40 years. It's rich. Its color is golden yellow. And what a pie it makes. Richer looking, better tasting, more appetizing. But let's hear what Mrs. Thelma Styra, Indiana State Fair baking champion, had to say about Fluffo.
I love Fluffo. It makes such a golden brown pie.
Oh, man, that's some apple pie.
Well, Mr. Wallace, that's a prettier pie than I ever baked with plain white shortening. And look how flaky it is. This yellow Fluffo is such a short shortening. Makes pie crust so rich.
Like cooking champions, get richer looking, better tasting, more appetizing results in everything you bake or fry. Get Golden Fluffo.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
You know, I've been accused of wearing a lot of hats in my career. And if you go to the Mississippi State University golf course, you can wear a lot of hats, a lot of the same hats I wear. Oh, that's nice. You know you like that. On Twitter, they are at HailStateGC. Or Call them, 325-3028. That's the Mississippi State University golf course. We wear a lot of hats. Hail State.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
We are about to have a fire and cook some sausage. A country pleasing sausage is outstanding whether you cook it over a fire or in the house. Cook some of this right here. It's green onion flavor. You see that? But this right here is my favorite, the maple flavor. And this is great for breakfast. It's awesome cooking it in the house because it makes the whole house smell good. Oh yeah. Let's eat country pleasing sausage, the best, hands down. If you go to countrypleasing.com, you can actually order this and deliver it to your house. Country pleasing sausage, hands down, the best. Trust me.
You got the Matt Wyatt Show on 105.9 The Zone and online at thezone1059.com.
All right, back with you, rolling along. JB, you got your tickle box turned over there just a little bit ago.
Yeah, my oldest son is traveling back up north. He was down in the area for a funeral today of a good buddy. Actually, accidentally passed away, and he was driving back, and the first thing he said, I picked up the phone. He goes, "You made an F in English?" Of course, he does it a lot better than I do.
Yeah,
Grant
Bobby.
He has a great Hank Hill.
You know, and I always cut that off too quick, because if you listen at the end, he immediately gets basically disciplined by Peggy at the end of it. Listen.
An F in English? Bobby, you speak English.
Hank.
Hank.
Yeah, everybody's got one of those. When HQ says Matt, and when my wife goes, if my wife says John David to me, I know I'm under severe scrutiny.
If my mama ever said Matthew Joel, I went. I stood up straight.
You knew it wasn't going to be good after that.
I clicked my heels together, stood at attention with one hand on my pocket and the other one I saluted, and was waiting for further instructions and paying attention. Robert on the live stream says, "Dear God, that Brett sound effect was funny." And then he says Hank was on target. Yeah, he did a great Hank Hill. What are these other? I have several. I'm just going to play them. Every time it comes up, it gives me an excuse to play it. Hank Hill. What's this? Did you know that Strickland propane in the show King of the Hill was all fashioned after an actual propane and propane accessories store out in the middle of nowhere, Texas, and the name of it was Strickland Propane. Yeah, the building, everything.
It's set in Garland,
That's
Texas,
it.
right outside of Dallas. Yeah.
Garland, Texas. What I got here?
Yeah,
Let's see what this is.
Now you listen to me, mister. I work for a living. And I mean real work, not writing down gobbledygook.
Yeah, Mike Judge, the creator of that, is a bass player also by trade, and one of my good buddies that listens to the show is a bass player around town, and actually sat in for Mike Judge when he was trying to get some scripts written for Beavis and Butthead.
You're kidding me.
When they were playing here at Howlin' Mouse, yeah.
That is incredible. No, I mean, creative people are just incredible to me. There's Bobby.
No, I like Willie Nelson. He's got long hair. He's alternative.
Now you take that back.
We called him Willie Nelson alternative.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click, get in there and talk about www.com, and you got then on there, man, you go click, 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 click. It's real easy.
All right, so a little bit ago, Ryan called in, did a Brett Favre impression about the EA Sports announcement they're bringing back the college football game, and I missed a good opportunity. All right, so I have actual Favre sound bites about Aaron Rodgers. Okay, this was on satellite radio, NFL radio. Brett Favre believes Aaron Rodgers will stay with Green Bay.
I wouldn't pay much attention to it. I think frustration, disappointment, hurt, pain, all were in that sound bite. Look, there's no way the Packers would do anything to jeopardize losing Aaron. Unless Aaron just chooses to retire, which I would be shocked. The guy's playing better now than he's ever played, and without him, you certainly wouldn't have been even close to where you were yesterday. And I think the same will go for next year, and it's really the next few years if he chooses to play.
Favre says that he can identify, empathize, sympathize with the pain and frustration that Aaron Rodgers is feeling right now.
I wouldn't pay much attention to what he said. I've been there. It's so, I mean, it hurts. It's painful. The last thing you want to do is think about next year because you just had a major disappointment. And that's what you're hearing in that soundbite.
Yeah. Is it safe to say that in your mind it would be crazy on both parts to have any desire to move on from this relationship, at least for one more year, to bring the band back together? I mean, this is not an old football team. It's built to win. I mean, you'd be crazy not to take one more shot at this, wouldn't you?
No, I mean, why wouldn't you think they'd be in the same position next year? There's no reason to think that unless they don't play up to their capabilities. And there's no reason to think Aaron would not play the same way he played this year because he tends to do it year in, year out. And I think for the Packers, more so with them, you would be foolish to make any move other than bringing him back and going as long as he wants to go.
That's Brett Favre talking about the Aaron Rodgers situation in Green Bay right now. And, I mean, how can you disagree with what he said? And I got to give it to Brett. I've never heard, well, I say never, I certainly haven't recently heard any sound bites from him where he ever gave me the impression that he's holding a real grudge against Aaron Rodgers and or the Packers. And, I mean, how can you disagree with him? It's true. But I did see a story. I didn't click it and read it, but I did see a headline insinuating that there's somebody out here who had played with Aaron Rodgers who's telling a different tale. Who's saying that Aaron Rodgers is bent on getting some revenge against the Packers for going out here and using a draft pick on a first-round quarterback last year and all this kind of stuff. So, I mean, I did see that. It's just a headline, but if you look at it from the perspective of Favre, he's saying, look, and to his point, the Packers have all been saying, Coach, what's his name, Leffler, whatever, and GM are all saying Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback, period. We want him. Well, they're all saying that because what Favre says is true. Is there anything that leads you to believe that the Packers wouldn't be right back where they were this year if Aaron Rodgers stays? They'd be right back in the mix next year with the way they play offense and maybe get add one weapon in there somewhere, somehow, whether it's free agency or in the draft. Anyway, thought I'd give you that little Favre. He can certainly speak from experience when it comes to the position that Aaron Rodgers is in. You feel like, you're still playing well, but they're sort of shuffling you out. They went and drafted somebody. It's funny how that all kind of comes back around on you. Jay in Baltimore on the Country Pleasing text line. Good to hear from you, Jay. It's been a while, I guess. Jay says, Matt, the days are counting down quickly until first pitch for the Diamond Dogs. And I have to admit, the anxiety level is going up. The pitching is there for us, but the same can be said for a bunch of other teams, Ole Miss in particular. The real question, can we score enough runs? With that being said, can you take a minute and reflect on the 2018 lineup? Oh, wow. The 2018 lineup. Mangum, Westberg, Tanner Allen, Justin Foscue, Rowdy Jordan, McNamee, Skelton. Yeah, Marshall Gilbert was in that mix as well. That was a fun baseball team, a good team. And then, too, that's the thing about it, right? If you look back at that 2018 lineup for state baseball, Jay, what you didn't know at that time was that Westberg and Foscue were both first rounders. I mean, you might have felt like it, but you didn't really know for sure. Okay, and now fast forward, and Foscue is on the fast track, right? Didn't they put him at, am I wrong, that they have him as the number one prospect in the Rangers organization to get on up there? So, yeah. I wonder how things are going for Skelton. I mean, I know he was in the minors, and that all got taken away from him last year. Same thing for Jake. And Marshall Gilbert, I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, Jay says, I just hope we don't look back in 15 years and say that was our best chance at a title. Yeah, from a state perspective, you hope that's not true. They certainly are recruiting at a really high level. I know that, Jay. And I think the thing that's so hard to project, and you said 15 years looking back, I think it's really hard to project over the next 5 years how all this is going to flow, right? Because this year, they expanded the travel roster by, 2 or 3? I thought it was 5. Lamonis corrected me on the show a couple weeks ago. I think it's 2 or 3, but still expanded the roster, the travel roster and stuff, dress roster, because we're in the COVID effects now, right? You got the season taken away last year. Everybody can tell seniors, hey, come on back. You got another year if you want to come play. Some did, some didn't. But the rosters are bigger. Teams have more upperclassmen on there, most of them in their lineups and on their rosters and in their bullpens than they have had in recent years because of the scholarship stuff and alleviating, giving everybody an extra year. So how's that going to play out? When do the effects of that wear off? Do the effects of that change the scholarship limits? That's what I hope happens. Now, far be it for me with 1 minute until the commercial break and a new hour of the show to get into a little bit of a soapbox thing here, but what I hope, Jay, is that we are about to approach a time where, what's the best way to say this? Certain advantages that certain schools and teams have enjoyed in recent years, that kind of disappears because scholarship limits grow across college baseball. That's what I hope, that it opens it up for everybody a little bit. And the sport would grow and more opportunities and stuff like that. That's what I hope. And it could happen. Could. Don't know, but it could. All right. Thanks for tuning in. If you leave us, we'll see you tomorrow. If not, come on back. Hour number 3 right here in the Bureau. We'll kind of go casserole hour. Lots to get to. Y'all stick around.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
We are about to have a fire and cook some sausage. A country pleasing sausage is outstanding whether you cook it over a fire or in the house. Cook some of this right here. It's green onion flavor. You see that? But this right here is my favorite, the maple flavor. And this is great for breakfast. It's awesome cooking it in the house because it makes the whole house smell good. Oh yeah. Let's eat country pleasing sausage, the best, hands down. If you go to countrypleasing.com, you can actually order this and deliver it to your house. Country pleasing sausage, hands down, the best. Trust me. Hey, let me tell you a little bit about C Spire. If you head with me over to cspire.com, over to their website, this is something you can do. And I noticed this today before I went and logged in. I was going to pay my bill, and it says at the top, deals you can believe in. You click that shop deals, and it takes you over here to a couple of things that you need to know about here for the holiday season. First of all, they're doing a trade-in right now. So like I can take my old iPhone 8 Plus and trade this in for an iPhone 12. The other thing is, I wanted to show you this. First of all, I love the ad with the bull and the Santa hat, but the no bull deal, you probably heard about that on our show. No gotchas and hidden in the fine print in the bill, no most expensive plan requirements, no waiting 3 months to get your promo credit, no having to, bring a phone number with you, all that kind of stuff. I can tell you from experience, I go here, my bill's the same every month. There's not a lot of hidden stuff. My cost doesn't go up. Once I'm in. I know what it costs every month. You get all of that stuff. And I just wanted to make you aware. Just go to cspire.com. You can see all of it. Merry Christmas.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank. Because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
You hear me say Davini Equipment in Madison and in Jackson a lot on the radio show. Highway 51 in Madison, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson. And yeah, it's tractors, okay? Kubota tractors, they have New Holland tractors, big equipment, skid steers, ATVs, all that. But you need to know this time of year, if you're a deer hunter, if you know a deer hunter in the area, anywhere around Madison and Jackson, Davini has everything, okay? I'm not talking about just, feeders and all the stuff that goes with that, but tree stands, climbing stands, chairs, camo this, camo that, boots, accessories, everything for the hunter. Davini Equipment, Highway 51 Madison, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I've been accused of wearing a lot of hats in my career. And if you go to the Mississippi State University golf course, you can wear a lot of hats, a lot of the same hats I wear. Oh, that's nice. You like that. On Twitter, they are at Hail State GC, or call them 325-3028. That's the Mississippi State University golf course. You can wear a lot of hats. Hail State.
Jackson. Live
in the studio.
Live and local. This is the Matt Wyatt Show. Talking about sports from around the world and right here at home. Streaming to you at the Zone, 1059.com, and on your radio on ESPN 105.9. The Zone.
What do you know? We made it to hour number 3 of the show. I'm Matt in the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau, go! With the home team. Hour number 3 presented by Overstreet Properties in Starkville. Anything residential, that's where you want to go. Overstreet Properties and overstreetproperties.com. What up? Welcome into the Bureau, the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. I'm Matt. JB is here. Most importantly, you are here. That's what's most important. And I appreciate you being here with the show. You can comment and be a part of the show in lots of different ways. You can comment on the live stream, hit me up on the Davini Equipment phone line, or text the show as well. And I'll give you those numbers. If you're watching the live stream, you want to do some of that, just keep your eyes on the background. We'll pop the numbers up there for you. I'll give them to you here on the air in just a second. I mentioned this way early in the show. Some of y'all weren't even with us at that time. But obviously today, February the 2nd, 2/2 on your calendar, is Groundhog Day, which makes me think about this.
Then put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't climb.
Yeah, the movie Groundhog Day. Who doesn't love that movie, right? Groundhog Day 2021, today. Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog, has predicted that winter will hang on.
Yeah, I watched that live this morning getting ready to go to Live Oaks.
You did?
Yeah, I told that cat he better not see a shadow.
You watched the groundhog live?
I did, man. Those guys all dressed up in their nice top hat. Makes me wonder what a bottom hat is. Could that be, oh my.
Somebody, who was it that said, I don't know. Somebody said, if that's a top hat, is a bottom hat? What's that, underwear?
Yeah, that's a progressive commercial.
That's it. All right. This says, y'all want to burrow away after hearing this. Punxsutawney Phil predicted 6 more weeks of winter today during the annual Groundhog Day ceremony in Pennsylvania. As a light snow fell just around dawn, members of the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club made their way to the famous forecaster stump without the usual crowd of thousands because of the coronavirus pandemic. Oh, this is great.
Hey, now don't you tell me you don't remember me, because I sure as heck fire remember you.
Not a chance.
Dad!
What do you tell him? Hey, JB, what do you tell him? Watch out for that first step. It's a doozy. He said it over and over and over again. Something happens today, you go to sleep, you wake up and you hear. Yeah. And as I said, every day he figures out a new way to, boom, smash the alarm clock. Yeah. So a few more weeks of winter. How many more weeks?
That would be 5 plus 1.
Okay.
Matthew.
6.
But when you think about it, I'll just tell you this. It's like I told my wife this morning. When is the, the vernal equinox?
Old Vern.
It's around March the 21st, 22nd, right?
Right.
Is that not about 7 weeks from now?
Mm-hmm. It is.
So how wrong can the hog be?
Yeah, he ain't ever that wrong. You know?
No, man.
Yeah. That's like saying they're going to score if something don't happen.
That's it.
Yeah, you're right. By the way, filled up the mug here. High Point Roasters in New Albany. HighPointRoasters.com. Get your coffee there if you haven't. Give it a shot. You'll be glad you did. Hot coffee from High Point Roasters in New Albany. My man, Dan, the coffee man, Dan Skinner. Hour number 3, kind of casserole hour. I got a lot I want to put on your plate right here. And it could be...
I love it.
You love it?
I see what you did there.
You smell what I'm stepping in? You picking up what I'm putting down? Attaboy. Here's the other thing. On this day, 1995, the 100th episode of... For Seinfeld's 100th episode on February 2nd, 1995, Jerry Seinfeld hosted a 1-hour retrospective with clips from previous episodes. the idea for a show about nothing. The smelly car, the puffy shirt, the astronaut pin, Jerry's hair, George's lack of hair, Mulva, the Hernandez incident, the outing, the masters of their domain, the bubble boy. Only a few of the episodes they included in the 100th episode. That was merely a conglomeration look back. That's all it was. I just realized that here on 105.9 The Zone, the Gridiron is the Seinfeld of sports radio.
It is. It is. And they should use that intro, but that is not the best bass intro to a comedy song. I mean, a comedy show.
Okay.
Do you mind if would you?
Oh, hit me,
bother
turn
me?
Hit me and turn it up loud.
All right, here we go.
Oh yeah, what's that show? What show is that?
That's Barney Miller.
Barney Miller.
Abe Vigoda.
I'm too young for that. I'm kidding. I'm
But
totally
isn't
kidding.
that's just a good groove, man. Listen to that bass in the back.
That is great. That is a great intro. That is a great intro. The Barney Miller Show. Abe Vigoda.
Yes, him.
We watched the movie Prancer over Christmas season. My daughter loves it. I love it. The movie Prancer. Okay, I don't know the name of the star in the show of the movie who's a little girl, but her dad was played by Sam Elliott. Remember that? You remember Sam Elliott, the voice?
Yeah, I remember.
The Sam Elliott. You know, he was Virgil Earp in Tombstone. He was the cowboy hat narrator in The Big Lebowski. He was, you know, the voice on the Coors commercial. Coors, the banquet beer. That's Sam Elliott. Well, anyway, Sam Elliott was the dad in that movie Prancer. But the veterinarian was Abe Vigoda in the movie Prancer. You ought to go look that up if you get a chance. If that is your bag, look it up. That is a good one. That is a good. Hey, all right, so I wasn't on with you yesterday. You know, the truth about it is, JB, I woke up yesterday thinking it was less than 24 hours since we had to put our little dog Lady to sleep on Sunday afternoon.
Right.
It was really traumatic. We've really been hurting as a family. It's just like losing a family member. And I thought, you know, I wake up yesterday, I'll do the show. I got up, even did a little preparation for the show, and then it just hit me. I was just sick with grief. I just couldn't get on the air and talk for 3 hours and pretend. I couldn't do it. And you found out even we were 10 minutes into the show today, and as I was explaining why I was out, I got choked up. And thank goodness, Annabeth, and you were here to pick up the slack.
It ain't going to be the first time, pal.
I know.
And it won't be the last.
I know. Well, anyway, I did a little preparation, never got to it. But yesterday, okay, was the anniversary of the very first episode, I guess you'd call it that, airing of Late Night with David Letterman back in 1982. Now that's whoever's playing the bass in his band was pretty good.
That's Paul Schaefer and his orchestra.
From New York, the home of the 2nd, 5th, and 14th largest buildings in the world. It's Late Night with David Letterman. Tonight, the villain from Rocky III, Mr. T. Actor Ron Howard from Happy Days. A tour of donut shops. And a visit to the Museum of the Hard to Believe. And now, a man who hates the crass commercialization of the 4th of July, David Letterman!
And here he
Paul
comes.
Schaefer is something else. Will Lee is the bass guitarist.
Okay. Well, man, they were great. Let me just tell you. Okay.
I just remember there was a guy named Anton Fig, who's the drummer.
Late night talk shows. Rank them. Here they are.
Yeah.
Johnny Carson?
I'm going Letterman and Carson.
Well, see, and I'd go Carson, Letterman. But the point we're making here is that Leno is everybody's number 3. I mean, I hate to say it. In terms of entertainment and the show and the comedy and those type of shows, if you came up with them and you stayed up and watched them, they had a certain atmosphere about them.
Oh, yeah.
A sense of place, okay? And I'm not trying to be real smart here. I'm just saying, when you think about it, JB,
right,
there are certain things that you get into watching, and this was during the golden age of television. We're not in it anymore. We're not in the golden age of television anymore. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what age we're in.
I don't either. But in terms of that era of TV shows and stuff, we've talked about sitcoms, about late night, everything else. But the ones that were successful, think about this. There was a sense of place. What I mean by that is you sort of get pulled into it and
you fit them into your life.
Well, yeah, but I'm also saying vice versa. As a viewer, you sort of would get pulled into it, and it's like you like going to that place.
They're watermarks in your day.
You were pretty confident the content, the dialogue, the stories were going to entertain you, but you were going to go to that place whether they did or not. Does that make sense? Like, let me say a little more. With Late Night with David Letterman, there were a lot of nights they didn't have guests that you liked. They didn't have interviews that were great. There were a lot of nights that sometimes the comedy wasn't that great.
Yeah.
But you went and got into it, and you started to feel almost like you were sitting in the audience, and you went to the studio,
right?
Because it was a part of your routine. You turned on Home Improvement, and part of it was whether this one made you laugh this week or not. You liked being in the not Home Improvement, but the Tim the Toolman, studio where he did his show. You kind of went to the place, and for a lot of people, it's like there's a parallel there with going to ball games. If you're a State fan, JB, you go to Dudy Noble for a weekend baseball game in the spring.
Can't wait.
Well, and a lot of times it ain't even about whether or not you're sure you're going to win.
No, it's just about being there in the environment and other people, hanging out, having fun.
That's right. There's a certain environment.
That's what people have missed in the last 12 months.
They have missed that. It's not about a guarantee that you're going to laugh at a show, a guarantee that you're going to win a game. Half of the deal is they just have an atmosphere I want to go be in.
Yeah. Let me give you another example, if you don't mind. It happened this morning. We started a little men's prayer breakfast on Tuesday mornings at Live Oaks. Mm-hmm. And, for me, that was the first time of having a Sunday school-like environment.
Oh,
since,
wow.
Almost this time last year.
Wow.
And in between that time, our Sunday school teacher, she passed away. So it's kind of it's been weird, but sitting in there this morning and being around those guys, listening to prayer requests, listening to the guy that presented the devotional, for me, it's very similar to being on the golf course. I enjoy being with people, and I enjoy hearing their stories and how their stories can intertwine with mine. And so I think somehow, some way, that's the same thing that you find in these TV shows that you like, because you invest your life. And as I said, they become a little watermarks for you because you can always go back and say, you remember that Seinfeld episode when so-and-so, or you remember this? And that's how we, I think as humans, mark time and mark things that we find are important.
I think you got a great point. There's got to be an association with it. I mean, in some way, so there are a lot, to take it back to sports, JB, what you're saying is there's, like, the parallel would be there's a lot of places that have great atmosphere, but if you're a State fan, you like the atmosphere at Dudy Noble because there's other State fans there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? People are kind of the atmosphere. So
yeah. And you also got to have somebody that's the villain,
Well, sure. Yeah.
The other team.
All right. And a chance to win a game. But I think, too, there's just something about, there's certain the ones that last and that kind of leave a mark, it's a little bit farther, a step farther than just.
It's not nostalgia. That's not what you're saying.
Right.
It's more than that.
Right. There's a sense of place.
Mm-hmm.
Like if people could go and just hang out in Jerry's apartment, even if Jerry wasn't there, they'd do it.
I just wish you'd get some covers for his cabinets.
Or put some locks on them for when Kramer comes around. I mean, for Pete's sake. Anyway, I think that's a great point. Let's see here. We got a message, or someone commented on the live stream that says, no game day atmosphere beats Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. Let me tell y'all something. I've said this before on this show. Now, I'm partial to the atmosphere when you get a full Davis Wade after construction and cowbells. But that's me. That's my school and my team. Let me tell you. In my job, I have been to several game days at Kyle Field. And I have told people are always asking, best stadium in the SEC and rank them and atmospheres and what's the loudest and all this kind of stuff. Well, if you just kind of wipe all that, this is the way I tell people. Listen, certainly there are places that you ought to go if you can. If you're a State fan or an Ole Miss fan, you listen to my radio show. And if you're not, you're a fan of another school. I'm just telling you, the biggest spectacle in terms of stadium and atmosphere in the SEC is Kyle Field at Texas A&M. You've never seen anything like it.
My daughter went there. When was the last time we were there? 2018?
19. Yeah, we were there in 19.
Okay, I guess that's when she was. She and her husband went over there, and she texted me. They had the most horrible seat, she said, but she said it was crazy. The environment there rivaled anything she'd ever been to.
It's you ain't ever seen anything like it. That's what I'm telling you. And I don't know if it's because they're a newer member of the SEC and therefore more of the visiting fan bases haven't quite made the trip yet. You know, we have 40, 50 years of people making trips to Baton Rouge as visiting fans. And so the stories grow, and of course their stadium and their night atmosphere, their winning record, it's unreal. Okay, Sven's pointing out on YouTube, Neyland Stadium, Tennessee. Incredible. Been there, played there. Called games there. It's incredible. But I'm telling y'all, you have to see it to understand how I'm telling you this. You've never seen anything quite like what Kyle Field is like when they get it full. No matter where you are. Listen, okay, you go, well, 100,000. Maybe they got 100,000 in Tuscaloosa. Listen to me. It's different. At Kyle Field at Texas A&M, it is 4 levels of seating going straight up. You get in the top level of that thing, you're basically hanging out like over the sideline, okay, because the whole stadium is 4 levels of 120,000 people going straight up around the field. If you're in, from our vantage point in the press box where we do radio from at Kyle Field at Texas A&M, you couldn't believe how far we can see, JB. In 2019, we went there. They did a flyover with these big Top Gun jets. What are those? F-what?
F-14s.
Okay. The Top Gunners.
Yeah.
Okay, Maverick.
Tomcat.
F-14
Tomcat.
They did a what do you call it? Flyover?
Yep.
They do a flyover. Buddy, I'm telling you, I saw them coming for 10 minutes. That's how far I can see, because that's how high up I am in the upper reaches of that stadium at Kyle Field. And then they do the flyover. They finally get there and fly over the field. They do a circle and go out there and circle around and come back and then flew out. It's halfway through the first quarter. I can still see them going home out there. It's unbelievable.
A good thing you didn't get caught in a jet wash.
Well, you say that, but like when they do the flyover.
You could have been, huh?
Look, it's almost like I'm so high up in the press box at Kyle Field. They do the flyover. I'm looking down into the cockpit. I ain't looking up.
You need to clarify that. That didn't sound right.
What do you mean?
You said I'm so high.
Oh, yeah, I'm so high up in the press. High up.
Yeah. High is in way, ascending.
Yeah. I'm so many feet above sea level. How's that?
Go. There you go.
Well, I'm just telling you, it's a spectacle unlike anything. It's not like other 100,000 seat stadiums. And to their credit, a lot of people are jealous of how many people they have in their stadium and their fan base. So they make fun of the choreographed cheers and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The male cheerleaders there, they kind of look like painters because they all have on the white bodysuit.
They look like
and they do all
the
these
Masters.
it's interesting, these choreographed cheers where they do all the hand motions and stuff and the fans do. So a lot of people make fun of that because they're kind of jealous of it. When you just watch it, the fact that you got 100,000 people in there that know the words to every song, that know every choreographed movement, and especially in the old Kyle Field, but even in the new one, they do this thing where they get to swaying back and forth, and the whole stadium starts swaying back and forth. And you're up there taking Dramamine to get through it. It's just, what I'm telling you is, it's the most incredible stadium in the SEC. It is. And it's not a shot at LSU. If you've ever been to LSU since they expanded and built up in that one end zone where they have now, you down on the field, you almost can't believe what you're looking at up there, but it's just on one end. I'm just telling you, man. You got to go see it. That's what I've told you. If you're a State fan, if you're an Ole Miss fan, whoever, if your team goes to A&M and you haven't been yet, plan it out and go. You will thank me for it. Because one my experience has been, they have the nicest people I've ever met working in and around that stadium also.
Yeah, as you're talking about all this, I'm reading an article that they're adding more seats to their baseball stadium for the 2021 season. Bluebell Park.
Bluebell Park. They blow bubbles there when they hit home runs and stuff.
It won't be the dude, though.
No, it won't. But I tell you, they got a great fan base now.
Yeah, they do.
They really do.
Yeah.
That football stadium is a spectacle. Got to go see it if you can.
Everything's big in Texas.
It's bigger. It's just bigger. Y'all stick around. Trust me on this. You will sleep better on a mattress from Nest and Wild. It's 100% American made. From top to bottom, all the way to the floor. It's a great Mississippi company. It's right here at home. I know the people. Every mattress they make is 12 inches thick. And if you order it, it'll show up in your doorstep in 5 days. So if you're like me and sometimes you procrastinate on Christmas gifts, you can wait right up until the last minute. All right, I'm not suggesting that, but you could do it. And if you use Bully20, BULLY20, you also get a free pillow top mattress cover to go with it. So it's a great deal. Use that code. Go to nestandwild.com, order your mattress, get it here in time for Christmas. Winsipedia.com. Winsipedia.com. Wins, the letter I, pedia.com. Winsipedia.com. If you're a football fan, if you keep up with games, you have a favorite team who's playing somebody new this weekend, certainly if you're a person that's in media, like me, you're in radio or maybe you write, this is an incredible website that's a resource for any historical matchup. You can compare any two teams, just put them in there, no matter who they are in Division I football. It'll give you the entire series history. It'll give it to you visually in a graph. You can click on individual matchups. You can look at the whole list. You can even get information, historical information on just one team, but Winsipedia, it's a great historical matchup resource for college football. Check it out.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
Hey, let me tell you a little bit about C-Spire. If you head with me over to cspire.com, over to their website, this is something you can do. And I noticed this today before I went and logged in. I was going to pay my bill. And it says at the top, deals you can believe in. You click that shop deals, and it takes you over here to a couple of things that you need to know about here for the holiday season. First of all, they're doing a trade-in right now. So like I can take my old iPhone 8 Plus and trade this in for an iPhone 12. The other thing is, I wanted to show you this. First of all, I love the ad with the bull and the Santa hat, but the no bull deal, you probably heard about that on our show. No gotchas and hidden in the fine print in the bill. No most expensive plan requirements. No waiting 3 months to get your promo credit. No having to, bring a phone number with you, all that kind of stuff. I can tell you from experience, I go here, my bill's the same every month. There's not a lot of hidden stuff. My cost doesn't go up. Once I'm in. I know what it costs every month. You get all of that stuff. And I just wanted to make you aware. Just go to cspire.com. You can see all of it. Merry Christmas.
Every score change during Super Bowl 55. Touchdowns, field goals, extra points, $50,000. Plus, 2 grand prize winners will win $500,000 they could use toward their dream home. Hurry up and enter for free at RocketMortgageSquares.com.
No purchase necessary. Legal residents of the 50 U.S. and D.C. of age of majority. Ends February 4th. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. The NFL is not sponsored promotion in any way.
There's this thing that I can't talk about on the radio, but you need to know about it. And it's like a new...
There's a game on the back that's lots of fun to do. All of the kids in the neighborhood say Tootsie Roll Pops are triple good. Triple good. You'll love Tootsie Roll Pops.
Hi, I'm Mike Wallace with a sensational shortening discovery for better baking and frying. It's Procter & Gamble's Golden Fluffo, the first all-new shortening in 40 years. It's rich. Its color is golden yellow. And what a pie it makes. Richer looking, better tasting, more...
Out of here! Out of here! Hey, speaking of baseball, I did see today where they're going to start on time. I'm tickled about that. I don't care about their whole contractual thing. Oh, well, the players deserve... Well, they're asking for, precedent in future negotiations with the... I don't care about any of it. I just want to know, when is opening day? When's game on? Where can I watch? How can I listen? How much does it cost? That's all I care about. I don't care about your players association, your union, and who has what leverage and what it means for the future. It's a sport. It's baseball. Play it. Play it. After the Major League Baseball Players Association rejected a proposal by Major League Baseball to delay the start of the season, the league said it would start spring training and the regular season as scheduled. Day of back and forth discussions between the league and the union, sources said, wound up as almost everyone involved expected. No deal to push back the season. with the February 17th spring training report date intact. April the 1st opening day, intact. Major League Baseball on Friday proposed a 154-game schedule that would pay the players for 162 games. But the players didn't go for it. Fine with it. Play the games. Start them on time. Play ball. Play ball! Hey, speaking of JB, I found this interesting. This was Ross Dellinger put a list out here on Twitter.
I saw that earlier today.
You see this? I'm going to put it up full screen for the people that are watching online right now.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Lisp and all. Don't you think it's mean that the word lisp has an S? Anyway, I digress. Ross Dellinger tweeted, teams with the most players in the transfer portal. Now, it's a part of a bigger thread of stuff regarding the transfer portal and what it means long term and adjusting scholarships and all that kind of stuff. So if you have time to read all that, if you're interested, I suggest you do it. I mean, I think it does affect everybody if you're a college football fan. I don't have time for all of it here, and some of that was coming out during the show today, and we've been talking, so I may look at it and we can talk about it tomorrow. I might even reach out to Ross and talk about it with him on the radio. So no guarantees. We'll talk about that. Anyway, here it is. Teams with the most players in the transfer portal. Western Kentucky is number 1 with 21 players in the portal. Tennessee is number 2 with 19. Then Memphis with 17. Kansas with 16. A group of 3 schools have 15 players in the transfer portal. That'd be Georgia Tech, North Carolina, and TCU. And then a group of 3 teams that are technically tied for what? Let's see, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Technically tied for 8th place, for the 8th most. That would be Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, and South Florida. All 3 of those schools have 14 players in the transfer portal. Just outside of the top 10 most players in the portal, a group of 5 schools who have 13 players transferring. Florida State, Texas Tech, Arizona, Washington State, and Northern Illinois. Now, y'all can look at lots of different things within that and maybe see some stuff that interests you. One for me is the fact that the school that Mike Leach went to has 14 players in the portal. The school he just left from has 13. Why can't we just swap? I'm kidding. I know it doesn't work that way. Now, the next graphic they had, teams with the most commitments from players in the portal. Well, states on this list also. All right, at the top, 3 schools tied for the most with 11 commitments each coming from the transfer portal. It'd be Arizona, Western Kentucky, and Utah State. So Western Kentucky's doing a flip-flop. So is Arizona. Memphis, 10 commitments from the portal. Florida State with 8 coming in from the portal. A group of 5 teams who all have 7 players coming in from the portal. Georgia Tech, South Carolina, SMU, Arkansas State, and Illinois. And a group of 5 teams who have 6 commitments in the transfer portal. That's Minnesota, Mississippi State, Charlotte, Southern Miss, and the Ragin' Cajuns of Louisiana. Now, if I'm looking at this, if we were to just go, okay, so this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. All right, 16 teams that have the most commitments from the portal and 16 teams who have the most players transferring out into the portal. Of those that are on both lists, so we would just say the highest ratio of players going into and out of the portal, going in and coming to us from. The teams that are on both lists are Western Kentucky, Memphis, let's see, Florida State's in there. Georgia Tech is in there on both lists. Arizona and Mississippi State. That's what I'm looking at. I may leave one out, but I think that's it. I think, again, is the highest ratio of players going in the portal and also coming to us from the portal. The ones on both lists there, the highest ratios would be Western Kentucky, Memphis, Georgia Tech, Mississippi State, Florida State, and Arizona. So what does that mean? I don't know. You can decide what it means to you. I just think, certainly from state's perspective, I just point coaching change and just big old philosophy change. I don't know that you can point to that for everybody else. Georgia Tech, not really. Florida State, you could, new coaching staff, all this stuff, players not happy, trying to reset the different culture, whether it's resetting it or better or worse, just saying different. Arizona, too. Kevin Sumlin to whoever they hired next, I don't know. But I found those numbers very interesting. I will do that, too. If anybody wants to do it on their own, you can. Again, there's a lot of information in the Sports Illustrated stuff that Ross Dellinger is doing in covering that. And there's several links there. I'm going to go read it tonight, and it might be something we can get into and sort of decipher on tomorrow's show. How about that? Jason is talking about, he's saying every one of them changed coaches. All right, so Memphis, Memphis, Florida State, Mississippi State, Arizona, but Georgia Tech didn't, but they're on both lists. Most going out, most coming in. How about that? The thing that I don't understand, how can so many players be going into the portal looking for a place to go and find a scholarship elsewhere when every school is able to bring seniors back without giving those scholarships up?
I want to rename the portal.
What is it?
I want to call it the romper room.
It's kind of what it is, isn't it?
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
It's like going to Chuck E. Cheese.
Did all my friends have fun at play?
It's like going to Chuck E. Cheese and you jump in that big old swimming pool of the plastic balls.
Oh, Lord, not me.
And some kids just never come out. We'll wrap it up next. Y'all stick around.
Hey.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
We are about to have a fire and cook some sausage. A country pleasing sausage is outstanding. Whether you cook it over a fire or in the house, cook some of this right here. It's green onion flavor. You see that? But this right here is my favorite, the maple flavor. And this is great for breakfast. It's awesome cooking it in the house because it makes the whole house smell good. Oh yeah. Let's eat country pleasing sausage, the best, hands down. If you go to countrypleasing.com, you can actually order this and deliver it to your house. Country pleasing sausage, hands down, the best. Trust me. Hey, let me tell you a little bit about C-Spire. If you head with me over to cspire.com, over to their website, this is something you can do. And I noticed this today before I went and logged in. I was going to pay my bill. And it says at the top, deals you can believe in. You click that shop deals, and it takes you over here to a couple of things that you need to know about here for the holiday season. First of all, they're doing a trade-in right now. So like I can take my old iPhone 8 Plus and trade this in for an iPhone 12. The other thing is, I wanted to show you this. First of all, I love the ad with the bull and the Santa hat, but the no bull deal, you probably heard about that on our show. No gotchas and hidden in the fine print in the bill. No most expensive plan requirements. No waiting 3 months to get your promo credit. No having to, bring a phone number with you, all that kind of stuff. I can tell you from experience, I go here, my bill's the same every month. There's not a lot of hidden stuff. My cost doesn't go up. Once I'm in. I know what it costs every month. You get all of that stuff. And I just wanted to make you aware. Just go to cspire.com. You can see all of it. Merry Christmas.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank, because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
You hear me say Davini Equipment in Madison and in Jackson a lot on the radio show. Highway 51 in Madison, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson. And yeah, it's tractors, okay? Kubota tractors, they have New Holland tractors, big equipment, skid steers, ATVs, all that. But you need to know this time of year, if you're a deer hunter, if you know a deer hunter in the area, anywhere around Madison and Jackson, Davini has everything, okay? I'm not talking about just, feeders and all the stuff that goes with that, but tree stands, climbing stands, chairs, camo this, camo that, boots, accessories, everything for the hunter. Davini Equipment, Highway 51 Madison, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I've been accused of wearing a lot of hats in my career.
Matt Wyatt Show. On 105.9 The Zone.
Radio. That's what we're doing. Live radio. Welcome in, everybody. ESPN 105.9 The Zone, Jackson, Central Mississippi. Big old flame-throwing station. Can't avoid it. Can't avoid it. You're driving up I-55, you feel the heat from the afterburners. Like that guy who messaged on or commented on the live stream said, if you're sitting in the top row of Kyle Field, when they do the flyover, you feel the heat from the jets. I agree with that. I agree. Been there. Kind of know what it feels like. I'm always amazed by that, by the way, how fast that heat will travel in a short amount of time. It's like at State, at Davis Wade Stadium in Mississippi State. We're up kind of on the next level, between the upper deck and the whatever, the main concourse where the press box is, but we're down closer to the south end. I guess we're close to the 35, 40 or so on the end that's opposite of where the players run out of the locker room. And where they run out of the locker room, down there on the ground are these two big flamethrowers. Players come out and, they start shooting up flames up about 15, 20 feet in the air. Well, we're way down, way up on the other end of the stadium. Our window's open, and as soon as they fire off those two flamethrowers, boom, we just get heat. Just right there. Just feel it immediately. Cold game, you wish they'd leave it going. And it's amazing how fast that heat will travel in a short period of time. Up and out, and everybody can feel it. It's like the light warms you up quickly. It's pretty cool. So I know if you're up high, based on what I saw, if you're up in that top of that Kyle Field, yeah, you feel it. You feel those jets. No doubt about it. How about a little football, a little
Football
NFL
in America
football?
Is a special game, a unique game, played nowhere else on earth. It is a rare game. The men who play it make it so.
You got the Super Bowl this weekend. Hallelujah. Can't wait. I'm picking my Chiefs. Why wouldn't I? Trying to repeat. I think they got the better football team, but the other guys have Tom. The other guys have Brady. My wife, the homecoming queen, was here earlier today. She picked the Buccaneers. Here's my thing, and it's okay. I understand it. Lots of people think that the Buccaneers are going to pull it off. Here's my thing. If they didn't have Tom Brady, would you consider picking the Buccaneers in this game? Emphatic no. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Only if there was another quarterback from another team.
Aaron Rodgers?
Maybe so.
Something like that.
Or Drew, or,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple other quarterbacks out there, but no, not the lock that, well, maybe I shouldn't say that because maybe, well, yeah, I think he would be a lot better than anybody else.
Yeah, I think so. Here's some sound bites for you. Bruce Arians, playing at home is a big advantage.
I think the big advantage is, we stay in our own beds and sleep here and just do our normal routines. Nothing's out of the ordinary until we hit the media sessions next week. But everything else, just to be able to stay in your routine, sleep in your bed and all that stuff I think is a huge advantage.
Staying at home. Underrated part of their success this year. Of course, it starts with Tom Brady and others, but the maturation of Leonard Fournette.
It's very, very hard when you're a superstar and you're the focal point of an offense and you come to a team and you're basically a role player for a while. It's hard. It's a very hard role to accept. And just told him this team is special. I mean, and you're a huge part of it. Embrace your role. You never know when your role is going to change. And then Rowe got hurt. He got COVID, then he got hurt. And so, yeah, I'm really proud of Leonard and the way he's handled it.
Tom Brady loves playing for Bruce Arians, and he got a question about the Bruce Arians no risk it, no biscuit philosophy.
I've heard it quite a few times this year, and that's, referencing BA's approach. And I really love his approach. He's coaches to win. And I don't think there's any fear he has about things not going the right way. I think he has an approach and style, and he wants us to go out there and perform at our best. And he's not going to hold anything back. And if there's an opportunity to take over the game, that's what he's going to do. So, I really enjoyed it, embraced it, and, love going out there, trying to perform for him, perform for this team. And he's done an incredible job for us this year.
That's Tom Brady. Got more from him. Now, what about this? I like this attitude from Tyreek Hill, the speedster for Kansas City, for the Chiefs. He says, look, we realize we hadn't won anything yet.
A lot of people are going to pat us on the back and tell us how great we are. But, the job isn't done. Just like Kobe Bryant was saying in this, I believe it was the Western Conference Finals when dude asked him a question. It was like, why aren't you smiling? It was like, the job isn't done yet. So that's our mentality, man. We just sitting here, focused. The job isn't done yet, So once the job done, that's when guys will begin to pat ourselves on the back, So until then, we're going to continue to do what we've been doing all season.
All right. This may be the best idea I've heard in a long time, especially coming from a player interview. Scotty Miller of the Buccaneers said that he'd take himself in a foot race against Tyreek Hill. JB, listen to this. Tyreek Hill has an idea.
I feel like Scotty answered that question the right way. I feel like if Luke right now, if somebody asks Luke, hey, Luke, are you faster than Tyreek? Or hey, Rob, are you faster than Tyreek? Your answer should be yes. I'm that confident in myself that I'm faster than Tyreek. That's any man. I don't care who you are. Like that. So Scotty answered that question the right way. But do I think he's faster than me? I don't know. Maybe we can do something during halftime or something like that. Somebody line that up for us.
How about that?
For your halftime entertainment this year, no horrible music, but a 100-meter dash between Tyreek Hill
and Scotty Miller. Race at halftime.
It might be better than the game itself.
It might be. And this I do know. Here's a headline for you. Super Bowl betting is down 37%, according to an article at ESPN. Well, give them a Tyreek Hill, Scotty Miller race at halftime. Watch what happens.
Yeah, what do they call that? Prop bets. I got your prop bet for you.
I got your prop bet. We're going to have a race at halftime. Whatever happened, speaking of old school NFL stuff, whatever happened to the NFL's fastest man competition? Remember when Darrell Green, the defensive back for the used to be Washington Redskins, now it's Washington football team, when Darrell Green used to win that every year as the NFL's fastest man? I mean, it was a big part of the league's marketing. Every time Washington was on television, Darrell Green at corner, the NFL's fastest man. Whatever happened to that? He always raced, it seems like, Willie Gault.
Athletes started making way more money.
They sure did. I'm looking this
exactly
up here.
What happened, and they quit looking for that extra. You remember the Superstars competitions? You had these athletes from all the different genres of sporting.
I sort of do remember that. NFL's fastest man competition. Surely there's a Wikipedia page for that. But I don't see one.
Alex, I'll take things I thought I'd never hear Matt say for 100. Surely there's a Wikipedia page.
Yeah, because they know that. I mean, they know everything. Let's see. This is an all-timer list. Deion Sanders, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, O.J. Simpson, Rocket Ismail, Willie Gault, Bob Hayes, Champ Bailey.
Bullet Bob.
Champ Bailey. Since he's there, never let me pass up an opportunity to mention that I picked sixth Champ Bailey. I helped make his career. Threw it right to him. He could have backpedaled in the end zone. I never would have caught him. Champ Bailey. Let's see.
Hey, speaking of fast people.
Remember Trendon Holiday?
Oh, I do. Yeah, he trended really well for a while.
For LSU?
Then it kind of slowed up for him.
Yeah. What were you going to say? Speaking of
I was going to say we're going to have to really have a conference, me, you, and Brooks and Beeve about Jake.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
What's happening? He's just walked in?
He's got a PJ Fleck Minnesota Gopher black sweatshirt pullover on today.
Okay.
And I love the dude. I really do. I've known him for a pretty good time, and I'm starting concerned we're going to have to revoke his SEC man card.
Tell him this. Teams with the most commitments from the transfer portal. Minnesota tied for fifth with 6.
Oh, by the way, we renamed that romper room, or at least I did.
The players coming from the
portal.
From the romper room. Yeah, from the auction block. State and Minnesota both with 6 players each coming in from the portal.
That ought to tell you somebody's excited to go play for those two coaches, those two programs.
Uh-huh. The difference is, though, State's got 14 going out. Minnesota's not on the out list.
Well, that means you don't have to kick off as many next year.
We don't have, I know they do a thing at the Pro Bowl where they do a skills contest, but it's the Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl is the worst all-star thing on a planet at any level. And we used to,
all-star game is the
baseball.
MLB.
Well, look, we used to have a quarterback skills competition, but they have a distance throw. And then we had the NFL's fastest man. And look, Darrell Green and Willie Gault and those guys took it seriously. What happened to it is all I'm saying.
With no money in it, and the closest thing you got to that now is the draft preview.
Yeah, that's about
right. Combine.
Yeah, the combine. That's it. Combine's kind of replacing. All right, JB, appreciate you, man. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, man. Good day today.
Yep.
Take care.
Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Got Jake and Abiv coming up next. See y'all tomorrow. See ya.